Listen, listen, listen. Welcome to Monday Night Tour Ramblings, where I will ramble on for roughly 3 hours. How I didn't think I was going to make it. I know I said that all the time, but I also forgot that there was a Marvel Legends stream. So there's a lot of stuff that was put out today, a lot of Marvel Legends stuff that we will be touching on. And I know you guys always tune in because you're like, you know what? There's a lot of other places I can get news from the toy news, but man, there's nothing like Monday night. Let's be honest. Not anyone can just talk about the news and show pictures of everything that's come out. There's only a few special people that you want to watch talk about it. That's the biggest load of crap I've ever heard. Anyway, I'm going to drop something right here at the beginning. We're going to talk about this and I'll get into it in a little bit, but another interactive show next week. I know we did displays, right? I asked you guys to send your displays to me so I can kind of show them off. Did a whole episode about it. It's hard coming up with new topics all the time, but as long as I can get you guys engaged, get you guys involved, that's what really makes this show special. I want your Christmas pictures from when you were a kid. Um, Unfortunately, I cannot find my USS Flag one. But um, I did find one, and quickly I went through all my old pictures, and I did find this one of me opening the water moccasin at a family function. You can tell it looks like not everyone is as thrilled or happy as I was. We're going to get into it in a little bit later before we get into the topic, and we'll be talking about it a little bit more. But I want your pictures. That's what the topic is going to be next week. I mean, I could go down other avenues like other people, but I'd rather not. I like to keep this fun. Let's have fun with toys. I mean, why the hell else are adults collecting toys if we're not gonna have fun? I don't get it. I never will get it. But hey, you know what? To each their own. All right, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed yet, and also head on over there. Don't send me pictures. Please don't send me pictures to my Facebook, to my Instagram. You can send them to Tony's face. You can just send them to his Instagram, but that's more for the circle of jerks. Anyway, I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. I'm glad that you guys tune in here. Give me a little bit of your time on Monday. Hopefully enough to decompress. I know I have technically a full week that I'm working, but what we do actually have is a work party on Friday. So, a work party on Friday. So pretty much, I mean, more than a half day, but we're gonna get out early, and then I believe if everything is good, we're gonna be doing a Punk's Pit for all the channel members this Friday, which usually starts around 10 p.m. So, if you want to find out what Punk's Pit is, it's basically just myself and a few other guys. Sometimes we rotate people in. Usually there's anywhere from 4 to 8, 9 of us, just BSing about all different types of stuff. Look at that, Tony jumping in here saying, F you, don't send me sheet. I know there's more of a circle of jerks thing. If you have anything you want to get through, you want circle of jerks stickers, message Tony. He will message myself, Baldy, Terry, or Toy Optics to get it to us. Or for us to get the stuff to you. Don't message us directly. That's not how it works, okay? Anyway, there are 60 people watching right now. Anyway, this weekend was I don't know if it was a productive weekend. I did some stuff. We finished decorating the Christmas tree. That's actually fun. Sometimes it's fun. Sometimes when you have kids, it's not fun. A matter of fact, the first breakup my daughter had was while decorating the Christmas tree a couple years ago, and it's really turned her off to dating. So it's been awesome. I mean, that sucks for her, but it was really awesome after that. And then I created some content. If you haven't seen, I did an Operation Monster Force Top 5. I'm working on getting some other stuff out. My the rest of my top 10, I've whittled that down. I'm going to get back to doing the ratings video for GI Joe Classified starting the first of the year. I'm going to do, I believe, the top 15. I'm sorry, the first 15 retro classified figures. And then I have to figure out what I'm going to do for February. And then I'm going to get into 101 through 120. You guys saw the series. I really want to have all 200 out before I start that series, or at least I know what's coming out, so I can kind of get that into play, because it's hard to get all that going. Anyway, so I did that. I worked on another video, a very special Christmas video that I will be dropping Christmas morning. There's a meme going around. People upset about this being the 40th anniversary, and I thought, you know what, my meme would be completely different. So I thought maybe it's the perfect time to work on something for Christmas, that I know people have been waiting for, and I got behind on doing some of those videos. I'm just going to leave it at that. Christmas morning, there will be a video, and I think most of you will enjoy it and have some fun with it. Maybe turn it in for your kids, and you can be like, yep, that was supposed to be my Christmas morning 40 years ago. So anyway, let's say hi to the chat, because there are a good amount of people, and you know how I like to do this. I just do it live. I run through everyone, and we try and do our best. So we have Sabir Del Norte here, Beardy McBeardy. So we have the Mr. Wonderful GI Bro, who has the best guns in the industry, in the business, I guess, in the community. Callisto or Cal Shave. We have the Odorous, which I'm just leaving at that. U.S. Combat Dojo. We have Machine Man. We have Snake saying hello all. How's everyone doing tonight? We have Krusty O'Crow. Hi, it's me, Russell Lemieux, Alex Martinez. We have Brick Something, who has the best hair in the community. If you don't know, look up Brick Something, and you're going to be like, oh, wait a minute. Brick is about your Lego collection, but man, that hair is absolutely perfect. We have Men who's jumping in here. Sean Forrester, Evil Dookie, who I have to say, Evil Dookie and Tony, and I forget who won the 3D printed stuff. I have not shipped your stuff yet. So just hold on. It is on the docket. I'm planning on getting it done this weekend, but I have not got it out yet. So just know it is coming, and no, I did not forget about you guys. Action Phase 1 moderator. We have MCR Mazda jumping, HK Viper. We have my other moderator, Matthew Matson, jumping in with the David R. has joined us, Viper Scout, who loves drama as long as he's not part of a drama. We have a GI Jetman, who I jumped on his show, I think on Tuesday, for the top 20. I don't know. I kind of just interrupted him and the same time toy. So Sci-Fi George. We have Stiv Chom jumping in here, which is Ted Knight. See, I remember that. We have Plastic Fantastic, who I'm going to say a big thank you to. Tune in tomorrow to the Circle of Jerks, 6:30 p.m. over on Baldy Locks Reviews. I'm thinking we're going to have something to show all of you from this fool. All right. Snow Whoop. They're same time toys. We have Nolan jumping in the chat, which now makes us Toy Tube official. Cooter's Garage is here. We have Izzy Trevi. I like that name, Izzy, but man, it's a tongue twister when you're trying to say it pretty quickly. Although I don't say anything real quickly, to be honest. SCS the Dog is here. We have William C. Emery, who I know is, I think you made the comment that, hey, you know what, I just found you and you're helping me out through a lot of stuff, and that's awesome. Hey, if these shows, like what I do and other guys do, can help some people just kind of clear their mind for a little bit, that is awesome. It's nice to get away from life for a little bit. MTC Tommy Tommy Rat joining us. We have Devil Dog here. Whew, my goodness. There is Ronnie Trickshot all the way from the land down under Australia. All right. There is Cobb Webb, who I saw he handled Oz's clubhouse, but it only went like 2 hours. I didn't know that was even allowed. I thought I thought you had to go at least 6 hours when you hosted the clubhouse. Tony Figs has joined us, as I already mentioned here, saying don't send him stuff. I still say, hey, send them all the requests there, especially for the Circle of Jerks. Debo DNA has now joined us. Is there anyone else? There's so many names here, which I appreciate. We have Crash jumping in here. Oh, everyone say hi to Ken. Hi, Ken. Hi, Ken. I don't know if Ken is here, but we want to say hi to Ken because the last thing we want to do is upset anybody by not saying hi to Ken. So, hi, Ken. We have Ultra Mensch. I think I'm getting that right. And if I'm not, it's not the first time I've gotten something wrong. Brick something says the hair is fake. I have good wig people. Man, I'm telling you, when I woke up from my 4-hour nap during the first Punkathon, and there you were, everyone else, it's like 6 people on there. It's early in the morning, even earlier for you because you're in California and your hair was perfect. And your excuse was, I had to wake up and take my mother-in-law to the airport. Still doesn't explain why your hair was so perfect. NorCal Voodoo has joined us. Whew. All right. Here's everyone. Look, everyone is saying hi to Ken. Good job. Great to see everyone say hi to Ken. We have Action Figure Atorium saying, let's break another build a figure tonight. Yeah. Where's my leg at, Shane? I'm still waiting on my foot. And I believe they released, they're releasing another Build-A-Wave that we had back in the day. So there's a good chance by the time somebody sends me that leg, it'll be out and I'll just go and get it. All right. I think we hit everyone. All right. So little scratch there. I feel like Roman scratching. He's right there. Look at that little guy. His life is rough. All right. So got 64 people watching. We'll talk about it again. I had an idea for next week. And again, I like getting you guys involved. And the more that I can do, then great. All right. It's hard to constantly have new topics all the time. There's no doubt about that. So when you're in this lull right now, it's like, hey, what can I do? It's Christmas time. People love showing off their old Christmas pictures of what they had as a kid. And I thought, you know what? Send me one or two. Don't inundate me with a whole bunch. Send me one or two of something that you got. Doesn't have to be G.I. Joe. It could be Castle Grayskull. It could be, a Transformer, Optimus Prime. It could be Mask. It could be Jason the Wheeled Warriors. Man, if someone has a picture of Jason the Wheeled Warriors getting in on Christmas morning, that would be fucking awesome. Some of you are going, what the hell is Jason the Wheeled Warriors? It was awesome. Just know that. But I want you to send me your pictures. On the bottom, you can see a punkwithtoys@gmail.com. I'll put it all together this Sunday. And send me your name, whatever you go by, so I can kind of incorporate it so I know who's being put in there. I tried this once, not this, but I tried another interactive. Hardly anyone sent me anything. Then we did the displays. It went awesome. But I think people were still a little hesitant, and not everyone has things displayed, but a lot of people have one of these pictures, whether it's been scanned, it's been put on their phone, whatever. Send me a picture of it. I literally just took a picture of this with my phone. Try and do as best of a job if you're going to take a picture. And I just want to kind of showcase, go over it before Christmas. And I figure we have a whole week now. So now you guys have a whole week. I'll put it out on the community tab. So hopefully people will remember. All right. So we'll get into that and we'll talk about that a little bit more. As more people show up, I kind of want to remind people, hey, you know what? Make sure that you do this, because the last thing I want is to show up on Monday and I have like 5 people that have sent it, and it's like, all right, here's our topic. 5 of you sent this in. We had a lot of fun with the displays. I think we can have a lot of fun with this too. Todd C jumping in here saying, "Hey, all right." We had a Marvel Legends stream today. I completely forgot about. Some of the stuff's actually pretty interesting, so we'll be talking about that. Since there's no GI Joe news uh, that I can speak about. I'm sure there's always something. I don't think we're going to be getting a GI Joe stream anytime before the end of the year. As I swear, like they don't care about GI Joe. Hasbro's just like, oh yeah, we have GI Joe. What do they do again? Oh, they just bring in pure profit for us. We'll do something later with them. So anyway, I love Marvel Legends. Some pretty fun stuff for sure. The videos this week, as I mentioned, I dropped the Operation Monster Force top 5 figures of the year. And I kind of explained why I only did 5. I think there was only like 12 that were dropped. Actually, there were more if you count the 84 different erasers. So I figured let's just do the top 5. There's a lot of people that maybe haven't watched, any of the reviews. Maybe some people that are still on the fence. They just want a quick overview, and that's what I did. I think it's like, I don't know, 20 to 30 minutes long. It's not real long, but I had a lot of fun doing it. I really like doing these. I'm a list guy, man. Like, you give me a list of, a list of 80s commercials, I'm probably going to watch it. Top 10 80s commercials, I'm probably going to watch it. List of top 10 Marvel Legends hands, I'm probably going to watch it. I don't know. It's a sick disease, to be honest. And then I also dropped for Darren, got back to the classic reviews, and I dropped the Lampreys and the Moray. So I was pretty happy with that. I know what numbers those get. They don't do real good numbers, but it's fun to go back over some of that stuff. It's also fun to have to clean up some of the stuff because some of it's pretty dirty. But the Moray did really well. I knew, like, some of those bigger vehicles, I know they're going to do fairly well. A lot of people either had them or it's something that they wish to have. And of course, there's people saying, oh, next HasLab. No, it's not, because we don't have a whale. Rex Ship jumping in here saying, ahoy, punk and chat. All right. For this week, though, I have Emperor Doom coming out. I got that in today, so I quickly did that video. I didn't do the Doctor Doom. I did not do the Doctor Doom Fantastic Four that recently came out. It's almost the same figure. And then I have Shipwreck coming out and the Tactical Battle Platform, which I'll say it again, I absolutely love that. I would love for that to be a HasLab. Because it's literally it's a table. It's that simple. It's a table that has vehicles already built into landing on it, driving on it, putting your figures. I mean, it's a display. That would be a perfect HasLab. If anyone from Hasbro is watching, they're so not watching. Geeks Have Game. Bobby Bayhard jumping in here saying, "Smash that like button, everyone." Yes, please do. It does help the algorithm more than you know. It says, hey, people are watching this idiot. I don't know why, but we should probably push it out to more toy tubers or people who enjoy toys because they're immature and they'll like his crappy humor. But like I said, over the rest of the month, I'm going to be working hopefully on getting some of those list videos that I worked on, the rating videos. I want to get them up and running. I'm finally back into a space of doing the classic videos, classic reviews. So again, Christmas morning, maybe something very special showing up, at least for me. I'm happy with it. So who is it? Jason Guerrera. I don't know if I said that right. I'm just here for the rambling. Well, you came to the right place then. James Lucas has jumped in here. Uh, Russell Amir says Donner Party should came with snack-sized human pieces. The thing that I don't understand about the Donner Party is um, the Tommy gun, and the Tommy gun wasn't invented during the Donner Party excavation or excursion. So I don't understand where the Tommy gun comes from. There's more than enough. I'm sure there's gonna be more than enough characters that they could have um, introduced the Tommy gun with. That may be from the World War II era or the gangster era. So I don't know how that one fits. It's the only one that doesn't fit. Although I love a good Tommy gun. Um, it really is a pretty damn. It is a cool looking gun for sure. Um, all right. So I want to say a big thank you to um, Action Media Toys, Terry, uh, 1/5 of Circle Jerks for jumping on and doing Thursday with a friend last week. Please check it out if you haven't. I had a blast doing that with him. Believe it or not, Terry and I have actually never done anything um, individual. Like we've we've chatted a little bit back and forth, but we've never done anything that isn't part of the Circle of Jerks. Or before that, not another toy stream. If you remember that, like that's what the original name was. So it was interesting to actually get to know him. We talked for a good amount of time afterwards, as we always do, and that's when you find out all kinds of other stuff. Um, Hold on quickly. Sean Forrester says the Donner Party guy has been around for a long time. He has different weapons from the eras. Okay, I guess that works. Yeah, if he's been around and that's kind of what the idea is. Um, but yeah, and again, I liked it, man. I'm not gonna like about it. I'm not gonna complain. Other than I feel like he should have been bigger because he's supposed to be like a Frankenstein's creature. He's like their version, and I wish he just would have been a little bit bigger. That's where my disappointment lies. But all in all, the figure is good and a lot of new tooling and the way they had to make him. So, uh, and we have this Mad Drop jumping in here saying, Lawrence, my man, greetings from Portugal. Wow, that's a hell of a long ways that to come from. And if I could only find it.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. You gotta understand, man. I never even saw these assholes before.
And there you are. New person I've never seen. Great to have you. Maybe the name is changed, but great to have someone from Portugal, or from all the countries. How great to have someone from hell my own state, or from my own country. So thank you for tuning in here. William C says I took my nephew to see Santa and asked a Santa and asked Santa for a vamp. Hope he didn't think I said lamp. My son's getting a lamp for Christmas, so you just never know. Um, so anyway, check that out if you haven't. This week though, I will be having a guy that I actually met at um, Joe Fest, and that is Robert from Action Figure Sold separately. Um, I'm looking forward to this. He just got his winning the hashtag rigged giveaway that I did because I'm like, hey, you know what I want to do on Black Friday? I want to rig a giveaway because I have nothing better to do with my life. But anyway, Robert got it today, so I'm super excited for that. I know he's excited to talk. This guy does amazing work with his dioramas, and they are on Etsy. So there will be links so you can go check him out. The links are already up there if you see where the Thursday with the friend is. So be sure to tune in. I'm gonna have a blast talking with this guy. I hope. I haven't had any duds yet. We're gonna try and keep it that way. All right. This Thursday. I'm sorry, this Thursday. this Wednesday, um, I did a pre-recording with um, Travis fucking Moody, along with Shark Eyes and Bees Battleground, my nemesis, and we talked. The topic was our top five Joes of 2025, along with sleepers, disappointment, vehicles. I think we run about 2 hours. It's a pretty good show. I gotta admit, I did a pretty good job doing a show with somebody. But check it out. It's pre-recorded. Comes on at 10 p.m. over on a Toy Kind of Mood. But before that, make sure you check out Geeks Have Game over on the Geeks Have Game channel at 9 p.m. Eastern. I believe they're doing. If you're still here, Bobby, I believe what you're doing is Christmas movies. Which, let's be honest, we all have our favorite Christmas movies, and we also have the ones that we hate. I still think that Jingle All the Way is a super underrated Christmas movie. So be sure to check out Geeks Have Game over there, and watch them. Him and Jason, they're taking over they're taking over the Toy Kind of Mood time slot. So I don't know. I think a Toy Kind of Mood is done as we know it. But I did have a good time doing that show. It was interesting because I was doing the show. We were recording it last night. And I was getting all this stupid. I don't know. I was getting all these stupid emails and texts and stuff from people about, I don't know, some drama going on. I'm like, I don't really give two shits. All right. I have other things to do with my life, like not care. We have Speaking Moistly jumping in here. And I thought there was someone else that I saw that we missed. Oh, yes, there it is. Graph also saying hi to Ken. Always gotta say hi to Ken. You miss saying hi to Ken, and all hell breaks loose. No one wants that. All right. And then tomorrow, Circle of Jerks, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on Baldy Locks Reviews. Hopefully, we're all gonna have something to show off. I know I got mine. It's awesome. And I hope the rest of the guys got it. They were all supposed to have gotten it by today. My understanding is Tony definitely got it, but I don't know if he's been home because he's working an 18-hour shift on the bus. But also, we're doing this is Baldy Locks. This is how he thinks. We're doing our top 6-7 classified of 2025. I don't know what the fuck that means. I don't understand this 6-7 shit. It's there. But yeah. I don't know, but this is Baldy's idea. It's basically he's the host. We do the show with him. It is a wonderful show, even if we can't always understand what the hell he's doing. Tune in there because you want to see a bunch of people just kind of rag on each other. You're gonna have a blast. Sci-Fi George saying the guys from Big Bad Workshop said on their channel that the Donner Party is not the actual Frankenstein monster. The actual monster will be shown up in a very big way. Donner is a placeholder. Oh, that is interesting. I know they do a show. I know they do one, and I've watched I think the first episode and a little bit into the second. But that's interesting that they mentioned that. I actually blame my moderator Ed for not telling me because he's the one that is supposed to know all that there is to do with the Operation Monster Force stuff and all that type of stuff. That's his expertise. Matthew Matson, he tells me everything else. He tells me when I'm wrong. He'll tell Ed when he's wrong. And believe me, when Matthew is wrong, Ed and I will make sure he knows. It's probably our favorite thing to do is tell Matthew when he's wrong. I don't know if Ed's in here right now, but if he is, he'll be like, hell yeah. All right. So let's talk about what the topic is for next week. 72 people watching. I know people kind of come in and out. I'll mention it a little bit more. You can see it on the bottom. So, Christmas morning back in the 80s. If you're younger, 90s, 2000s, I don't really care. Hell, maybe it's something your kid got. And if it's something your kid got, awesome too, right? Send it in. I don't want too many. I don't want to have like, I don't want to have to sift through like 5, 6, 7, 8 pictures. Send 1 or 2 pictures. And if you have something from when you were a child, and then you also something that your kid had that was super happy. And again, if it's turtles, it's turtles. I don't really care. It's about the excitement of Christmas. And again, next week's show is on the 19th, I believe. Actually, it's sooner than that, right? I think it's actually the 21st. I could pull it up on the. I could just pull it up here and look at it. The 22nd is actually. So it's only a couple days before Christmas. I want to do this, but I need all of your help. And Ed jumps in and says, yes. I look forward to those moments talking about when we can prove Matthew that he was wrong, or just tell him that he was wrong. And it's not like we have to be right. He just has to be wrong. You know, there's those people that like, they just have to be right to tell you. Like, I don't even care if I was wrong too. See, if I'm wrong and Matthew's wrong, it's still a win for me. I think Ed feels the same way. So anyway, this is a picture of me. Like I said, I went through all my pictures as I was doing more demolition a couple weeks ago. I was really looking for the picture of me getting the USS flag on Christmas morning, and it's literally just the picture of the box. I can't find it, probably because I removed it. It's been moved around, but I did come across this picture. Now I don't have any other pictures that I can really find or even remember. I don't remember this picture per se, to be honest. And it's kind of just hit me. I'm like, hey, you know what? There's probably not a lot of pictures. I know Matthew has a picture. I may have signed over it one day. I don't remember. I think I may have signed the omnibus book right over Matthew's picture. I don't know. Does anyone else remember if Warchest is here, he could let us know. But yes, send me your pictures right at the bottom, and that's going to be the topic. I don't know how much news there's going to be, so hopefully there's enough pictures to fill 3 hours. I mean, right now we have 72 people watching. I know people watch on the replay, and I'll be talking about this throughout it. So, and he says, is that Punk in the gray dress? That is my sister. That is actually my sister right there. So if you think that we look similar, that would be the reason why. But no, I'm not wearing a gray dress, nor have I ever wore a dress because, well, I don't do that. And let's see. Matthew says, I still can't find the picture of me with my Sky Striker, Dragonfly, Vamp, and Hal with my dad. Well, as long as it's one picture with all that stuff, we're good. But I don't want more than 2 pictures. Action Figs jumping in here saying, I don't recall that signature happening at Joe Fest. Maybe it didn't. Maybe it didn't. Believe it or not, that redhead is a Mexican. All right. We actually have a whole family of redheads that are true redheads. That's how powerful the redhead gene is. So my stepdaughter actually could fit in perfectly if she smoked like a pack of cigarettes a day, but she doesn't. So she can't fully fit in there. Big N jumping in here saying, what's good, everyone? All right. So Matthew says there was one pick, but I can't find it. Well, I know you have at least one pick that you can send in, right? And if you don't, maybe someone can find. Maybe someone can take a picture from the omnibus and send it in. No Jim saying hi all. What I miss, pretty much all you're missing is what the topic is for next week, which is Christmas pictures from years past, or maybe you took a picture with your kid and they were super excited. And you have stuff like that. But I really want to see some pictures and hopefully some old toys, right? And again, it doesn't have to be GI Joe. I know a lot of people think, hey, you know what, you're a GI Joe channel, and primarily, yeah, it has turned into be more of a GI Joe channel, but I'm not. A matter of fact, there's no GI Joe news at all um, to talk about today. So uh, I'll be interested to hopefully get some of these. And again, like maybe you got Castle Grayskull. Maybe you did get the USS flag and you have a picture of it. Uh, Try not to send Megatron and as a gun form. I don't need YouTube knocking me off. um, but yeah, just anything. And again, I don't want you to be like, well, I didn't get GI Joe, I didn't collect it. No, 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 anything. Whether it be Hot Wheels, Adventure People, anything like that. So, War Chest is here. Great to have you jumping in here. So anyway, that's what next week is going to be all about. Like I said, I don't know how much news there's really going to be. I can still find a way to come on here and speak for a good few hours without any topics. But it's fun to actually have some stuff to talk about. I'm sure this person here, Allison Troy, saying, I collect souls, but they don't photograph very well. I don't know. That's not always true. If there's an orb or something, little Allison with an orb would be awesome. But Allison, I know you have to have some pictures. If you have a picture, please send it in. Again, all of you right down there, a punk with toys at gmail.com. Please don't send it to, my Instagram or to Facebook. It's just going to get lost there. Um, you know, um, I kind of, Mr. Wonderful sent me something. I kind of assume that he'll probably text it to me because he has a hard time following directions. I know my moderator, Matthew, my moderator, Ed, can attest to that he has a very hard time um, following directions. So, but anyway, we will mention that a little bit more as we go on. And again, that's really it. Trying to see, is there anything else? All right, so it is the Christmas. It is the Christmas season. It is the Christmas time. So I know Amazon has not been putting out many deals at all. So you haven't seen those links for Amazon. I know I have um, Tripwire. He messages me stuff when he's ordering off Amazon. Hey, can you send me this link? It has been a really, really shitty year for the Black Fridays and all that other stuff. Like past 2 or 3 years, man, there's just been loads and loads um, of different toys, different stuff on clearances. Man, I haven't found anything. So it'll be interesting if we maybe see some leading up to it or maybe right after. But the sponsors, as you know, Hella Dope Toys, they are still around. From everything that I know, we still have, yes, Top Fun Retro 3D Toys. John, you gotta shorten that. We got to shorten that a little bit. Rowdy Riles jumping in here saying howdy. Howdy makes me laugh. I don't know why the word howdy just kind of makes me laugh, but it definitely does. The owner says, "Has anyone seen the snow globe with a little Ross?" Yes, Peak Rosscon. I saw it on clearance today at Ross. I did see it when I was at Ross. It's about the only thing. Well, I guess I found a couple things at Ross. Very, very few things. Titania, I found her. I found Cobra Commander at Ross. I found a Mandalorian, and then I found ET at Ross. I found this ET at Ross. But I have not been lucky like some of these other people. But I know I did see what you're talking about. The little Ross. So that's actually pretty funny that you brought that up because I looked at it and I kind of just rolled my eyes at it like, wow. But anyway, if you are using Amazon tomorrow, the Marvel Legends Daredevil, not Daredevil, Deadpool Wolverine figures go up. So I will have those hopefully up the Amazon links, Entertainment Earth, different things like that. Let's see. Viper Scout says found Sergeant Slaughter and Helix plus some Transformers. I've seen a bunch of Transformers, but I don't collect those, so I really have no idea what I'm looking for. I watched some guy, and I don't think I talked about this on the Circle of Jerks, but I know I discussed it um, in our chat. There was some guy walking around. He was FaceTiming with whoever it was. And I know there's at least one store. I think I talked about it last week. There's at least one store that, yes, they go around and they try and buy up everything from Target and they overprice, overcharge for it. Again, there's distributors go do that. So now they're going to all the Rosses. They're trying to do that. They go to the Ollies. And I mean, seriously, you're going through FaceTiming, all the NECA stuff. I mean, seriously, just run a business the proper way. And I guess if that's how you have to make your money, that's fine. You're not going to see me coming into your store. You're not going to see me promoting your store, and I'm not going to be buying stuff from your from your booth at a toy show if I'm in there. It's just one of those things that I roll my eyes and I don't get why people do it. So anyway, but yeah, as I was mentioning, I don't know what the hell I was mentioning, but anyway, Amazon links they'll be up there tomorrow. So if you are interested into all that stuff, please click the links and order stuff. It supports the channel. J.I. Jetman says, you have a discount code for... No, I do not have a discount code for Amazon. But anytime you click any of those Amazon links and you order anything from Amazon, it just links back and it creates commission for the channel. But you don't get anything. I don't, again, I don't, I get very little, but the whole point of the Amazon affiliate links, how they do it is you go on there because, hey, I put a G.I. Joe figure out there, and then you're like, hey, I need a refrigerator. It all continues to add up. That's why everyone that has a channel should have an Amazon affiliate link. I can't express that anymore. Every single one of you, if you're doing it, you should have reached out trying to get part of that Amazon program, because people will use your links, and again, a little bit of money. Again, it's not hurting them. They don't have to really do anything just when they're clicked in there. Clint Jorgensen jumping into saying, saw gargoyles at Ross. Source 2, no Cold Stone or Macbeth though. I have seen, okay, so I guess I have seen two different gargoyles, but since I already have them, I guess I don't really think of them, and that's not something you're gonna army build. And I have not seen Cold Stone or Macbeth either. Yeah. Let's see. The order says, I just looked it up on Facebook Marketplace. A South Bay store is reselling a Roscon Snow Serpent for $35. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure for sure. Like, yeah, people are gonna grab this stuff. Again, I really want to find the EOS and definitely the Snow Serpent because, again, winter is coming. Oh, wait a minute. Winter is coming is actually Delta 17. Stanley Eberhard jumping in here saying, you're in the background as I pack for Idaho. I don't even want to ask, but I'm going, why are you going to Idaho? Like, I'm sure there's good people in Idaho. I just can't think of a reason I ever need to go to Idaho. Cobweb says, I keep getting that Amazon thing telling me to join. Guess maybe I should. Now, there's two different ones. Now, the Amazon affiliate link, that's what I have. And I know, like, Allison, whenever she orders something, Johnny Reno and Tripwire, they'll shoot me a message and be like, hey, can you create a link for me? And I create a link and shoot it over to them. But anytime that you're in there, so again, if you're doing your reviews and you're big with the Motu stuff, and if you post your links and someone happens to click it, they're sitting there looking at, some Masterverse thing, and you have a link to it. When they click on it, once they're in during that session, anything that they order, you get commission on. So running a channel, it's expensive. So that's one of those ways you can do it, and you're not asking someone to give you super chats and asking someone to join the channel all the time. It does all those little things. So yes, Cobweb, it's very beneficial for you. I'll just say that. I mean, again, you're not going to get rich off it, but every little bit helps out. You got Hustles jumping in here saying, "Sup, Larry." All right. So anyway, before we get into the topic, before we get into the news, shall I say, we're far from getting into the topic. Let's hear a little word from one of our sponsors, who I promise you isn't going away.
Oh, hey guys. So Lawrence, he had to step away for a little bit. He's got a case of the grumble dust. So he asked me to kind of watch over a stream. He put me in charge of y'all. He said to me, "Oh, Moss Man, I have a case of the grumble dust, and I need you to watch myself for a little bit so nobody leaves and finds out that there's more interesting things to watch on YouTube. And also, I hate Ohio." So I was like, oh, dang, so now I have to come up with a topic for my very own show. And I was like, oh, what about talking about your favorite toy stores? So my favorite toy store is HelloDopeToys.com. So they used to have this really bad website. It used to look real scammy. Like if I gave them money, they were going to go spend it on like blow and hookers. But now their website is really nice. And like I can just go in and do like 1-2 click. And then my order's placed. And they ship super fast, guys. They ship everything in 1 business day. So like I get all my toys first. So when I'm out there on the playground and all my friends are like, "Oh, dang, Mouse Man, where'd you get that action figure? I still have to wait 17 months for mine." And I'm just like, well, I went to HelloDopeToys.com and I just pushed the buttons and then they shipped it out to me. And the packaging is so nice, guys. Like I opened up the box and I thought, oh, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this kind of packaging. It's so nice. But then my trash can gets full because of all the packing stuff. And I was just like, oh, dang, I just changed the trash. But now I gotta change the trash again. Oh, you're right, Matthew Matson. You can use the code APWT at HelloDopeToys.com and save 10% on your order. So how that works is, so you're gonna save 10%, and then a Punk with Toys, he has to pay that 10% that y'all saved. So if you don't like Lawrence, you can just go to HelloDopeToys.com and just buy a bunch of stuff and rack up his bill. So then like at the end of the month, they're like, Hello Dope Toys is like, "Oh, Lawrence, you owe us $1 million because of all the 10% codes that everybody used." And yeah, that's how that works. Okay, guys, so it looks like it's time for me to go now. So make sure you go to HelloDopeToys.com and like and subscribe, and then in the comments put what your favorite toy store is. But if it's not HelloDopeToys.com, I'm probably just going to delete it, okay? So, all right, guys, bye!
All right, and quickly, let's say hi to a Billy Boy's toy, and then we have No Level. Am I saying it? Is that right? No Level. I was hoping to find Starduster at Ross. I don't know. I might be wrong, Matthew. You'll be the first one to tell me. But
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You gotta understand, man. I never even saw these assholes before.
all right, Stu for lunch jumping in here, making sure to say hi to Ken first. Hey, you come into the stream, make sure you say hi to Ken before me. That's the only one that really is important that you say hi to. And then we have Gun Bunny Custom saying, "What's up, everyone?" All right, into some of the toy news, and we got McFarlane toys, but I don't know what McFarlane even showed off this year or this week. Ice Woman. I have no idea who she is. Emma Frost. Who is this, guys? No, it's not Emma Frost. She is with again. It's not Emma Frost, I know, but guys.
I don't go through all the graphics before the show.
It's Guy Gardner's ex. All right. Disney's Frozen. let it snow. Frosta. All right. It says Ice, formerly Ice Maiden. Anyway, um, so anyway, she is part of the new wave. If you are interested, I literally saw this. I saw this, and I actually overlooked it until I was watching Robo Don't Know, and I was like, well, I think I saw those. Jake Anderson jumping in here. Jake, I totally forgot that when I gave you the Donner Party figure when I met up with you, I totally forgot to give you stickers. So, and I even have them in my car too. So, I will be sure next time we get together to give you some stickers. All right. So this is Frosta. Fridge. I don't know. Like, hey, I actually kind of like the Frozen girl, to be honest. uh, here is here's Red 03 man. Who's this guy? This is Starman. 03. He's the red version. I'm sure there'll be a blue chase version that is just as easy to get as the red version, but no one's gonna want it because it's not the color that he normally is. And sometimes, I probably should look at some of this stuff a little bit better. Matthew says it's Incinerator from G.I. Joe. Um, yeah, I have no idea. I truly have no idea who this is. A matter of fact, I'm 100% honest. I threw this in here, and it's not even ringing a bell on who it was. And I gotta say, it's a Red Rocket. Sometimes my dog gets a Red Rocket when he gets a little excited. It looks nothing like this. Uh, it's Comrade Viper. It does look cool. It'd be really cool if it was in scale with Classified. Justice League member. Where did I see? 3-star jumping says, did I miss any Jokerized Batman yet? You have not. But I'm assuming they're working on Jokerizing this one right now. Yes, the wrong answers are the best. I told you guys, there is nobody watching this show because this guy gives the best news. All right, he knows these figures. He gives you the price points. That's a Superman or Superboy. It has the new Superman logo on it. I know it's some sort of super figure, even though in his native language, that's a symbol for hope. Good thing it just happens to look like an S, like Superman. G.I. Jetman says, is $60 a good price for Maximum Spider-Man? Well, he was $50 to begin with. I believe now with the tariff prices, with the tariffs and everything, he's $60. If you wait around, you might be able to find him a little bit cheaper. I don't think, for me, if I had to pay $60 for it, I wouldn't be upset about it. I think he's a great figure. It's earless Superman. He does look like he's missing ears. But yeah, so this is a Superman, a Hope. Maybe he's Hope Man. I don't know. Again, he's out of scale with every other figure in the world, and may even be out of scale with other McFarlane figures. That's what makes McFarlane so special. This is the Flash. Nailed that one. Todd C says, why his face so puffy? Well, let's go back and let's break down the puffiness of Superman, Superboy, Botox Man. That's the Botoxer. Sean, that is insulting. I do know who the Flash is. He's not Fast Man. Evil Dookie says Jay Leno. Yeah, I kind of see it. Now I'm hearing the voice of Jay Leno come out of the sky as he's flying in to to help out. um oops. Uh First off, does it matter? But this is Barry. I only know that because I watched Robo Don't Know. I watched the rewind and I know he said that it was, at least I think he said it was Barry. Um and Wally West isn't he a different color too? See, don't try and trick me. I watched the Flash TV show. That's how I know who he is. um Break something. Ooh, that soup. A face only Martha could love. What Martha though? Huh? Why'd you say that name? What? Was I the only one that at that moment in that movie, when Batman's losing his mind, when he sang Martha, that we went, oh my god, their moms have the same first name. It never dawned on me. And now I'll never be able to forget how bad of a story arc that was. Um, um, Cow Shave says in the comics, Wally was white first, like Fury. Was he really? I truly have no idea. So many people don't realize that Nick Fury was white. um, and then they retconned him, and I really have no idea. I just know that the Black Nick Fury was actually based off of Samuel L. Jackson, and I'd say so. What a great casting getting Samuel L. Jackson. But I don't think that guy turns down any movie roles. I could probably call him up right now, get his agent, say, "Hey, I'm doing a movie. Do you think Sam?" Yes. I haven't even told you what the movie is. He's in. That guy does not turn down movies. All right. So anyway, there you go. Another Flash. This actually looks good. Again, he's starting to knock it out of the park. I think most people still hate the fact that it's the wrong scale. And I hate saying that it's the wrong scale after you have everything that happens. You know, people telling you that classified as the wrong scale for G.I. Joe. But the 6-inch scale is, I mean, it's Marvel Legends, it's classified, so many other lines, Operation Monster Force. And uh, we want to have good DC characters that we can work in and do pictures with. Or even just sit on the shelf together. Mattel, are you listening? You're not, but you should be. Todd C says Nick Fury's son looks like Samuel L. Jackson, and Nick Fury looks like Mitch from Baywatch. All right. So now we have the Elite Edition Spawn. Now I looked at this and I'm pretty sure it's the same Spawn that I have. But I think this is a soft goods cape. Although I'm looking at this and I don't think it looks soft goods, but I thought it was soft goods cape. I still don't understand why he doesn't do more with his Spawn figures. It is such an iconic character at this point. I mean, he's been around for quite some time. I think people love Spawn. He can have guns, he can have swords. There's different versions of Spawn. Yes. Sam Jackson, or is that Doc? I think there's few people that know that, but the people that know Sam Jackson as Doc are laughing right now. Dan Olton jumps in. Nick Fury doesn't look like The Rock. He could be. I forgot he played in Baywatch. Well, he wasn't Mitch though in Baywatch, was it? Didn't they have all new names, or did they have all new names in Baywatch, the movie? Which was very comical from what I remember. Anyway, here's Spawn again. I do think this looks really good. but I already have a version of this. Um, and the elites are what, like $60. And again, it's time. It's time. It's time, Todd. There's a thing called pinless joints. You don't have to scrap everything, but it is time to be like, hey, you know what? We're gonna move into the I don't know, what decade are we in? Like, what do we call this? 20s? How about the 2000s? Instead of doing some pinless joints. I know he kind of acts like, hey, I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe send that over. He literally told Shardamus that in an interview when Shardamus asked about pinless joints, and he was like, "Could you send that over? Maybe my guys can look at it." No, but you can go to fucking Target and buy a bunch of fucking figures and say, "Hey, look, they're pinless." Yes, calling it elite with pins. That's pretty much. He's not going to change. But yeah. Matthew says, "Isn't this what was promised in the Kickstarter version of Spawn?" Not that Kickstarter had a lot more stuff, but the Kickstarter Spawn had a lot more detail to it. I do remember it because it looked really good. But that was also the wasn't that also Medieval Spawn? That one looked really good, but yeah, that price and the Kickstarter kind of didn't make much sense. But anyway, if you want an Elite Spawn, you're like, hey, I need my one definitive Spawn without pinless joints. Here you go. You get the Elite Edition, and you can enjoy it. All right, on to Jada, and Jada dropped some more fun stuff today. So if you haven't picked this up or you haven't pre-ordered it, I guess no one's picked it up yet. They dropped the Flintstones, the Post. So you're going to have the Pebble cereal and Cocoa Pebbles. I'm gonna just say it. Two of my favorite cereals. I hate when people argue what's better, Cocoa Pebbles or Fruity Pebbles. The truth is, I don't think there's a negative. I don't think that there is a one's better than the other. They are both excellent. So Tripwire jumping in here saying yabba dabba doo. And they do look pretty good, but there is something a little miss. But yeah. And then we have Lost Ranger 87 says these are pretty neat. I'm sorry, I know Matthew's gonna tell me, but
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. You gotta understand, man. I never even saw these assholes before.
Everyone's saying these. Like, I feel like I feel like there's something off about them, and I don't know what. Maybe it's been a long time since I've watched the cartoon or even seen these commercials, but I feel like there's something a little off about them. They don't look bad, but something just doesn't look right. But you do get the Fruity Pebbles. You get a bowl. Again, I don't think there's anything wrong with either cereal. And I'm talking about the cereal, not the toys, because at this point I don't really give two shits about the toy. And let's see here. Tripwire says Barney is definitely off. Yeah, that's what I thought too. But anyway, they're fun. I want this table. If you're gonna give me Fred, give me the tables and stuff. Give me the chairs in the background. Give me all of that stuff. I know people can make it, and yes, but I don't want to do that. I just want to buy stuff. Here's Angry Fred, who's obviously out of Pebbles. But yeah, Ed says they need more 5 o'clock shadow. I can kind of see that. Machine Man says Fred is weird shaped. Fred was weird shaped no matter what. I don't again, like, I can't put my finger on what's off, but something just feels a little off about them, and I don't and, again, usually when you're translating a cartoon character like this, I feel like they're able to nail things, but I don't know, for some odd reason, something looks just a little off, or, maybe it's the fact that I'm thinking of something from back in the day, and maybe they've made some adjustments to it over time. Um, you know, maybe they've made some adjustments over time. Uh, but yeah. So again, I always like Barney because he's short. He also did a lot to piss off, to piss. So basically, this is like, the short little guy is me, and the angry guy is Travis Moody, who you just know how to needle and piss him off. He even has Travis Moody hair. And I know right now Tony went, "Holy shit, you just nailed it." But they're fun, and I love what Jada is doing. Again, I don't need to go buy everything that they do, but they're giving you this weird niche that you're like, "Hey, you know what? This is what it's supposed to be about." Rowdy says, maybe Rowdy doesn't say anything because I highlighted it, nothing happened. Jada makes fun stuff. Fun is what matters most. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. Just have fun with everything that we're doing here. But yeah, no, I can't make. I know I can't make Fred jump like this, not without a stand or something. Uh, and I don't think Fred was ever this happy. Well, I guess I take that back. I guess at the end of his shift, he was super excited, but he's usually just a miserable son of a bitch. So he fits in perfectly in the toy world. He's just miserable, right? um, and Tony says, "Give me all the cereal food mascots." Again, it's something really. Again, it's something. It's fun and different. And you can buy it for someone who loves, you know, who just loves, Pebbles cereal, Fruity Pebbles or whatever. Um, yes, he is fruity. No, I think the face. It's actually the faces that I don't know. And again, maybe it's been a while since I've watched it. Um, maybe they've made the articulate or the animation a little bit different from the original. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of, or maybe I'm just about to be fucking 50 years old. So who the fuck knows, right? Uh, Either way, it's not like you look at him and you're like, who the fuck is that? Like, that's Barney, that's Fred. Um, I do have to say, if the cereal boxes are the same size as all the other ones, which I'm assuming they are, it kind of sucks because even like the Costco size cereal boxes aren't this big. But like this here, like this does not look like Barney. All right. Now, I mean, I could tell it's Barney, but there's something about it that it doesn't look like Barney. There's just something, again, you can actually see it in the cereal box. Maybe it's the shape of the nose. I have no idea. But there's just something that is a little off about it. Matthew says again, these are cereal versions, not the show from the 1960s. Yeah, but there was always the commercial too. Um, there was that commercial that we always saw. So, um, either way, it's not like you can't tell who it is. But yeah, there's just something. And now I want some Cocoa Pebbles. I'm not gonna lie, I definitely want some Cocoa Pebbles. Um, this kind of looks like it looks more like he made a brownie or something. um, let's see here. Jason says he had 0 eyes. Huh. Okay. So you look at the eyes there. I'm trying to look at the Cocoa Pebbles box right there. Possibly. Again, like there's just something that he looks like a bowl of grumbled dust. You nailed it. It's full of crumbled duffs. Thank you. Thank you for that, Good Bunny. That made me laugh. All right. Anyway, if you want these and you just want to do some awesome pictures with it, I can only imagine the photography that some people are going to do with this, because we have such amazing, photographers in this community. These amateur photographers, and I don't mean that negatively. I mean that in the fact that you guys are making money off it. But yeah. So there you go. If you want them, they went up for sale. They went up for pre-order today. BBTS I know has them. Haven't checked anywhere else because I actually didn't order them because I feel like you can constantly get stuff elsewhere. Usually before BBTS, and they're always up for pre-order. So, and there's Barney. He said that his Grumble Duffs are. All right, we need Grumble Duff cereal. All right, we need some Grumble Duff cereal. Ed, you need to reach out to our Mad Radnom and say we need some Grumble Duff cereal with Mossman on the cover. Mossman is on the box for some Grumble Duff cereal. I'm gonna reach out to him. Unless if you do it before me. Anyway, there you go. Super 7. My favorite brand. But they do make O-rings. I mean, they're not great, but nonetheless, they do make O-rings. So they are doing the O-ring Back to the Futures. Now, I've gone over at length what the O-ring should be. This should be an extension of a real American hero. Now, yes, these have nothing to do with a real American hero. I understand that. But this is where we definitely need to just kind of embrace what they have here. So what is cool about this is we can definitely incorporate these into the O-ring world, the G.I. Joe world. But if you're a Back to the Future guy, and I know there are some huge Back to the Future, Lost Rangers, I always wanted a Larry David figure. But he has the big radio control. Again, you're gonna pay $25 for this. Super 7 does not give two shits that they keep going back and back and back with their with their accessories. They don't care. Here's the cross sell on the back, so you're getting 2 Marty McFlys. If you don't know this, Super 7 loves to give you 2 of the same characters in waves because it saves on their tooling. Now, the one thing we will talk about this in a second here. Now, this doesn't really look like Doc that well or that much. That face sculpt, he looks way too young. And again, I know you can do a better job, but again, they don't really care. They're going to give you that thing. These should have articulated wrists. We know they don't. I don't even know if you can hold that thing right there. But it is a cool accessory. It is a cool accessory. And even on the back here, he has his little tool pouch. So again, if you like Back to the Future and you are an O-ring guy, this is pretty good. Wait for it to go on clearance at at Target, because I'm sure they'll be at Target. So 3-star says the NECA one is only $25 at Walmart now, and he's twice the size and 100 times the detail and accessories. You can also find a lot of Marty McFlys over at the NECA version over at Ross right now. Here's Marty McFly, who looks more like Huey Lewis than anything, with one guitar. All right. Now, again, what can you do with accessories? There's only so many accessories, I guess, that you can make. But if you want, man, look at, it's like, again, they're painting the waist to make it look like, you know, it goes all the way down, and it just doesn't work. Like, how come no one can tell them, like, hey, painting the waist all the way down, like for the suit, it doesn't work. We need to do something different than this. But it's like no one will tell them anything. Eric Stoltz. That should be their Chase version, the Eric Stoltz version. But again, if you're big into Back to the Future, there you go. All right. Oh boy, I'm gonna have a gripe right about now. Here is Marty McFly, right? This is the one I think we mostly would think of. Like even his vest that has the exact same issue, right? Or same thing. So they're using the exact same waist. It looks like, at least. So here we have, Huey Lewis. He's got a skateboard. If anyone remembers, I had a huge complaint about all the Powell Peralta, that's a skateboard company, figures that the Super 7 reaction did. What did I say they needed? You're going to give me a skateboard figure, one accessory, a skateboard, and they don't give it to you. But here they give Marty McFly one. Again, you couldn't just have reused the skateboard. You couldn't just thrown one in there. It's aggravating. But again, this is what Super 7 does. How many corners can we cut to try and rip off the fans? A lot. Honey, they shrunk Huey Lewis. Hi, me says, I didn't even get as far as paint over the coats. I didn't either until right now. Until I saw that one, it didn't even dawn on me that that's exactly what it had done. And as soon as you turn them on the waist, it's gonna break and it's not going to look right. He says, "What's with the life preserver?" I see it. You mean the life jacket? Yeah. So anyway. These are Super 7 Reaction Plus. That's the O-ring version. And if it's something that you're into, that's awesome. Pumpkin Army built him for the flag. Not at $25 a pop. I can go buy shipwrecks for that much. So if you want them, go pick them up. They'll be available. I would wait. I mean, I'm not big on the clearance chicken. We've talked about this. If it's something that you want, you order. You pay retail, you pay MSRP. But this is one of those where, like, if I see this for like $12, I might be like, you know what? Why not? Especially Doc. Doc would probably work as some crazy scientist that Cobra, captured. If you collect the O-rings. Especially his look and everything. Now you actually got me thinking about getting a Doc. So maybe I will. All right, NECA. I truly have no idea what I put in here from NECA. Oh, the thing. Now I understand. I definitely understand this. The Ultimate and Alien Terror. The Thing. So I understand the purpose of this. It does light up, which is actually pretty cool. You probably do a lot of cool photography with it, but there definitely is there's definitely a lack of stuff here, which hopefully this is not a full NECA price, but I have a feeling it's going to be. Yes, Michael J. Fox is married to the sis of a prominent academic at UC Berkeley who does documentaries on food on PBS and Netflix. He's married to the girl that he dated in Family Ties. Now, is there any truth to the rumor that there is that they're having a special edition Chase Michael J. Fox figure that you press a button and he shakes? I don't know. Yeah, I went there. um, no, he's married to the blonde from Family Ties. If you don't remember. Uh, anyway, here is the thing. Now it's very interesting, but he's gonna light up. Again, I'm not sure how much that cost. Again, we can kind of go back and forth because we know the whole, the whole different aspects with the hiss and everything and putting electronics in the HasLabs. But I feel like this is like one little button that's going to light this guy up. Now, if he is the, a regular price, then I'm like, ugh, I think you're kind of asking for a lot for what you get with this figure because you can't do very much, you know. But I know a lot of people love the thing, so this might be one that everyone has to have. Um, he is an icon. I'm not going to argue that. um, it says Dan Olton says Kirk Cameron is married to the girl he dated in Growing Pains 2. The blonde? I did not know that. If that's who I'm thinking of. I just remember Michael J. Fox. Like I knew that like that was like huge. Like that was like huge back then. So and Kirk Cameron, he's a little weird. There's no doubt about that. Him and his sister. But oh, did he get? I don't know. They also killed off Matthew Perry too. He was a drunk in that too. I don't know if this is a redo. I just know it popped up. Come on. How many times do you need me to play it?
I don't go through all the graphics before the show.
All right. Anyway, if you want this, get it and have fun with it and do something with it. I think this would be cool with the light up if it had like a USB port in the back that you can just kind of like plug into it and have it always lit up. But yeah. Because the blonde was in Playboy. That's right. I kind of forgot. Yeah, I forgot that he did some really weird things because of his religious beliefs, which I guess is kind of stand up that, you stand up for what you believe, but it's also you're trying to push your I'm not getting into it. So there you go. I've looked at this thing for way too long now. There you go. The Thing. Fresh Monkey Fiction. Woo. Okay. So we got to see some sculpts of the new female character. I don't know which one it is. But we get the front sculpt of it. I'm assuming she doesn't stay she's not bald all the time. Here's the back of her. You can see the butterfly joints. They're called butterfly joints because they butterfly. That's the reason why us Americans call them butterflies. And now I would not have known her name, Laya or Ilya from Star Trek. I would not have known her name, but at the moment you said from Star Trek, I knew exactly who the hell you're talking about. Yes. She is she's showing them off for sure. Purity says, "Button up your shirt." It might be. I don't think this is Red Riding Hood, but someone else may know. Action Figure Atorium says, "Is Monster Force overtaking Action Force is in the modern military 1/12 figure?" I don't know if they're taking over it, but they're definitely, in my opinion, their number one competition. I mean, Classify is not their competition. They're They're Hasbro. Um, they're Hasbro, but this is, this is the company that, because of BBTS, they have the backing to do what they want and push out characters. So, and they're doing something different. That's the whole thing. They're not just a military line, where Action Force is just a military line. This is a horror line that's turned into military. That's why I said it's one of the most unique ideas from an ununique idea. And that's taking characters from long ago that there've been 100 iterations of them and saying we're turning these guys into like a military style. But they're not all military. I heard some people, in my, top 5 Operation Monster Force of 2025, a couple people had mentioned how Halloween Boy just doesn't really fit the military aspects. I don't think they're all supposed to fit the military aspect. And there's nothing wrong with his opinion, but I think that's the whole point. We're going to find some that definitely are not. Well, they're a different price point. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, I enjoyed the Operation Monster Force. They've been a lot of fun for me. So, but I don't think they're overtaking. But it is, in my opinion, that's probably their number one direct competitor when it comes to the 6-inch scale. It's not GI Joe, because again, they're backed by Hasbro, so you're not even going to get. There's not even a competition. That there's, 40 years of a real American hero history, let alone, the 60 or 70 years of GI Joe. All right, but then we got to see the a little bit of this, and so this is the packaging for Agent Carter, who is like a secret agent chimp. The fresh monkeys. I don't know why I want this. I don't know why I wanted this when I saw it, but damn, is there something interesting about a chimp with a patch, a pistol with a suppressor, and a briefcase with a mission. So again, just a bunch of different something new and something different. And again, this is why it can work with your Operation Monster Force. It's all going to live in the same world, at least for me. Again, next year, I'm assuming when I do my top Fresh Monkey Fiction or Big Bad Workshop, I won't be just doing Operation Monster Force. I'll be mixing all of that stuff in. And Ed here says that he's excited for Agent Carter. And here's this asshole. Hey, it's a figure of Punk. I look nothing like a monkey, and I have 2 eyes. I mean, they don't see very well, but yeah. Action Figuratorium says Agent Carter going Mezco Gomez style. Now that's an interesting thing. Could BBTS, Big Bad Workshop, or whoever, maybe that's what they're kind of going for with some of these off the wall characters like Agent Carter, that they're trying to do that, trying to go the Mezco, Rumble Society way. We know how popular that stuff is. It's always in stock, when it drops. And there are people that absolutely love the Rumble Society. It might be something like that. And it looks like you could definitely live in that world. So, but there it is. That's what the box is going to look like. And here is the top secret, talking all about who Agent Carter is. I believe it's still available to order for pre-order. I already have it ordered. I think the only thing for the 6-inch line for their military figures that I haven't ordered is the cops. I just have no interest at all with it. 3 Stars says, I wish this guy would fit in the Ramen Racer trunk. Perfect trunk monkey security system. I don't know if that's a reference to something. I'm assuming it is, but I don't know. All right. And then here's the side of it: the fresh monkeys, and you kind of see them going from, I guess, prehistoric monkeys all the way up to standing up and being fully. I'm not gonna say it. uh, I figured it was, but I have no idea what it's in reference to. Or maybe if I knew what it was, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I know what that is." Uh, Says you don't remember the Trunk Monkey commercial. I don't, not at all. Maybe if I saw it, I went okay, but no, nothing. You didn't. Nothing there rang a bell or anything when you said it. Um, yes, looks better send the video, Darren. All right. Ooh, I forgot to put the. Actually, I think it's probably gonna be the next. Oh, all right. Anyway, Four Horsemen Studios. This is going to be their Toylanta exclusive. So this is falling in line with the Toylanta that they did, or Joe Lanta. Those two are tied together. They're not Roadblock figure. I really like the color scheme on this. It's hard to get any figures, military style figures. Now I know this is more like a futuristic military style. To go with that, not Roadblock, the ATL 25, I think is what it's called. So I'm excited. I'll probably be picking this up. I know that if you get it at the con, you'll probably get something extra. So hopefully I can find someone that can pick it up for me. I think the colors on this actually work really, really well. I like the sniper rifle. A matter of fact, the sniper rifle, I have one of my Cosmic Legions actually holding this, and you'd be surprised, but you can actually get this in a, in a firing position. So I don't mind the rifle. I don't mind what the Four Horsemen are doing, where they're kind of making a military style, in the kind of futuristic, and 3-star if you're going, hit me up. Yes, I want one. Just I want one right now. Wow. The moment you said that, I can definitely see Van Helsing with that face sculpt, if that's what you're talking about. A little bit pudgier in the face, but yes, you're right. I can definitely see that. Just Jeff jumping in here saying, just go there. What's this from? This is the Four Horsemen. And I believe this is either Toylanta or Joelanta. Again, it's almost the exact same show. I don't understand why they have two different names, other than they happen, I think, 4 or 5 months apart from each other. But yeah. And Evo Dookie says face camel is the only wrong part. Can it be wrong if it's not real, Dookie, though? Either way, this is fun. I don't really care for these masks here, but again, I don't need to use them because I'm going to have this awesome face sculpt here. But if this is what you're into, if you like what they're doing, they're kind of coming out with their military style, pick it up, and I think you will definitely enjoy it. They're not the greatest articulation, and they're a nice price point. But yeah, I really do like the ATL 25. I don't even know what his name is. It's not Roadblock. So I don't know who this guy is not. Is he not Duke? I mean, I definitely would not say that he is low light or not low light. ATL 25. See, I've been getting it right. It says Atlanta 25. All right. But here's his computer. Again, a lot of fun. The guns are kind of stupid. With that gun, I don't really care for that pistol there. So there, Toylanta. Okay, only available in show edition release. Okay, so at the show, you're going to get the unpainted head and what looks like sleeveless arms. So there you go. You'll still be able to pick up this whole figure, but if you go to Toylanta, then you can get this. Darren, pick it up for me. Okay. I don't. No, I don't think it's Spirit. I don't think it'd be a not Spirit. It's just interesting. Like Roadblock was so. I mean, it was so obvious who that it was not Roadblock, but this one, maybe this is where they're gonna go away because the other one was it Jolanta or was it Toylanta that it was at? Anyway, G.I. Jetman says reminds me of Marcus Phoenix from Gears of War. I know what Gears of War is. I have no idea who the characters are, but I will trust you. Okay, it was Toylanta last year. Okay, yeah, because I remember thinking like, why would you do this here and not Jolanta? Because it seemed like it made more sense for it being Jolanta. Anyway. Then they drop this guy. He's another exclusive for ZoloCon. Who the fuck's going to ZoloCon? I need one. Ed needs one. I believe Matthew needs one. This thing is awesome. The Executioner, I believe he's supposed to have better articulation than some of their other figures. Dude, this thing is just awesome. This thing, who doesn't need an Executioner? And even though he's a little big, he's bigger than your classified. When their heads down, when their heads down on a log for the chopping block, yep, it doesn't really matter, does it? Andrew Taylor saying that it was Toylanta. Yep. But yes, this thing is awesome. Brick something says gonna need this too. I'll wait for the standard release though. Well, again, if you have to, then sure. If you have to wait, then sure. But this thing is, I mean, everything about this, it just looks awesome. And I think it being an Executioner, at least for me, that's where I went like, I can do so much with the crappy photography that I do, that I enjoy doing though, that I can't imagine what guys like Emerald Knight can do. Matthew does some wonderful stuff. Toy Optics, who's right here. He kind of doesn't really count because he's a cameraman in real life. So he doesn't really count, but I'll give him the pass there. Ed does some, again, like this is just awesome. And even this little flame effect here, like it looks like it's just being totally ripped off. It looks like it's being ripped more off him. But yeah, that's this thing is awesome. I can't say it enough. If you said you can have one or the other, I'm saying give me this, because I think I could find more stuff to do with this guy than the other guy. Brick something says we won't have to wait. Either folks can pick it up for you, or you can order online. That's how they've done this the last 2 years, but it's pricier and comes with 2 exclusive heads I can pass on. Yeah, I see. Like, no, I'm with you. Brick, I'm with you if you're gonna pay extra on eBay or something like that to get the extra 2 heads. But if you have somebody there and hey, they're like, hey, I'm gonna pick it up for your cost, just pay the shipping. I'm gonna pay shipping at, Four Horsemen anyway, and their shipping is not the cheapest. It's not like they have like a $4 standard shipping. So, but here you go. If you want this, I don't even know if he has a name. Again, you know how well I pay attention to that stuff. He's just an Executioner. So the axe is, if I am correct, that axe, I think I have that axe somewhere. But I don't know. It says 2 exclusive heads only in the show edition. Removable hood reveals terrifying. Visage. Am I saying it right? Yes, I'm with you looking at the heads. Like, I don't know if I need two translucent heads because the one underneath the hood looks so awesome. But I mean, I like the little orb there with the fire effect coming off of it. This is just awesome. I mean, I said that enough. You guys are probably like, okay, but yeah. So, Brick says, I think it's all reused except for the hood. Yeah, but they didn't make it look this cool. Richard Sampson jumping in saying, "Hey Punk, great to see you here." All right. So what are we about to Marvel Legends? So I'm gonna take a quick break so I can run to the bathroom. But I gotta find something to play. What do I have to play? You know what? I have all this stuff from the Punkathon. So let's play something. You guys all like this one. I mean, I really like this one.
And now back to Cobra News Now.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have received word that our field correspondent, Scrap Iron, is on scene at Mars Industries, and he has interviewed a few eyewitnesses and forwarded those statements over to us as he tries to get closer for a better vantage point on the fire. So let's take a listen to these eyewitness statements and see if we can discover what has happened here tonight.
All right, so I'm out here just ripping this mini ramp that's made by Mars Industries. Don't ask, I don't understand why they sponsored it. But anyway, I hear this huge explosion, and I hear all these people yelling and screaming that this thing's on fire, and they tell me to call 911, so I call 911. We got the ESU police here, and we got the firefighters, and wait a minute, don't you work for Mars Industry and the Iron Grenadiers too?
Oh yeah, that's a wicked fire, eh? Good bonfire for burning the moose on. Kind of reminds me, it reminds me of the one that we did at Justin Bieber every year at Stratford Festival. Just as much smoke, big flame. We do that to keep Sasquatch away. What'd you do yours for, eh?
Yeah, how you doing? I was walking down the street, hanging out, minding my own business. About to sit down on the park bench here and just enjoy my meal here. I got a nice little delicious lunch made by my wife, my lovely wife. She's a great cook. Sometimes not the best, but listen. We all suffice, right? And I'm sitting here on the bench about to open up my lunch box after a long day of working with construction workers. If you haven't noticed, I got this hard hat on, right? And I'm sitting here chilling. And next thing you know, I smell burning. And I go, what is that? And then the explosion, the loud, boom! I'm like, oh, what the hell was that? What's going on here? You sound like Aaron Judge cracked a home run. I'm freaking out. I look up, and Mars Industries is on fire. And I'm like, yo, what the hell is this? The building just blew up. It's on fire now. And no one can have any answers. Nobody has any answers. Next thing you know, the fire shows up. The cops show up. Nobody knows what's going on. But damn things for sure, that building blew up. Now listen, I ain't no conspiracy theorist, but I'll tell you this. The owner of that building, he wears a metal helmet. Who's wearing a metal helmet? Just to do business. Something don't smell right. You understand what I'm saying? That building, that was an inside job. You can quote me on that. Thank you for having me on the news. I've never been on the news before. This is fantastic. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. And before we go, I want to shout out some people. My man Shane, my man Woody, my man Mike. I appreciate you all. Take it easy, guys. I appreciate you. I'm on the freaking news right now. This is fantastic.
Well, that was certainly something. So let's see if we can check back in with Scrap Iron and see if he's been able to locate Destro or the Baroness, find out the cause of this fire. Over to you, Scrap Iron. Scrap Iron. Scrap, are you there? Looks like we might be having some technical difficulties, and oh my God. Oh, I'm going to have to go over there now.
Okay, in all honesty, I know you guys have seen that commercial numerous times. Am I the only one that laughs every time he says, "My wife's a great cook"? Oh, sometimes not the, or sometimes not the greatest, or something, not the best. Like, you just said she's a great cook, and then you said sometimes not the best. It makes me laugh every single time. Anyway, Joe fan jumping in here. So quickly, anyone that's quickly jumping in, they might see the scroll at the bottom, or maybe you're not even paying attention. For next week, the topic is going to be Christmas pictures from your childhood. So send me 1 to 2 pictures if you have any, take a picture of it. If you have them scanned in, send them to my Gmail, a punk with toys at gmail.com. That's what the whole topic is going to be. It's 1 or 2 pictures. If your kids, if you have kids and they're celebrating something that they got, feel free to send 1 picture of them. And if you have 4 kids, then I'm okay with you sending like 4 pictures of each of them, like super excited to get something. But I really want to see if you have pictures, from your childhood. Again, that's what is a lot of fun to me. And again, doesn't have to be GI Joe. Please, Masters of the Universe, obviously Transformers, maybe your Super Friends. Who knows? If you have if you have more than 1 or 2, I want you to pick out the 1 or 2 that you like the most. I don't want a whole bunch. All right, because the whole goal is that we have a whole bunch of people that send it, and make sure you put your name on it also. So this is the perfect time to go see mom. Head on over to your parents' house, go through the pictures, and dig up that 1 picture of you getting Castle Grayskull that you remembered, but it's been so long since you looked at it. So run over, go. Don't do it right now. Don't do it right now. Just go over in a little bit, like after the show or tomorrow. Not during Circle of Jerks though. Go over Wednesday. Don't go over Thursday either, or Friday if you're a channel member. Maybe the weekend's the best, but don't send it in too late because I need time to actually do it. But yeah, that's very insensitive. At least, I mean, best wishes to his mom, but come on, don't rub it in my face that I don't have a mom. It's very rude, very insensitive. Anyway, I'm just messing with you. Before anyone gets upset, it's how I deal with grief. Cooking with Eric has jumped in here saying, "Sweet hat." Thank you. I sold 2 Robo Skulls, I believe, or a Robo Skull and a stand. They're awesome people. Anyway, Marvel Legends. They dropped something today. Well, dropped a lot of stuff today. They had a live stream, which isn't live. Amazing how much stuff they can show off. But like GI Joe, they get like they branch it out and we get like five figures. Action figures sold separately. Jumping in here, who will be my guest this Thursday on Thursday with a Friend. So make sure you tune in. It's gonna be a good one. I mentioned it earlier on. Once you guys ought to tune in, it's already set up. Go over there, click to remind me, so you guys are all there, and you can ask him questions like, "Why do you charge so much for the work that you do?" That's always my favorite thing. I don't know, because he doesn't do it for free. All right. So Marvel Legends tomorrow, they are dropping the wave of Deadpool Wolverine figures. Now, what is funny is that the one figure that I know that everyone really wants more than anyone isn't going up for pre-order till I believe January 26th. So once these things drop, probably I think it's at 1:00, I will have links to all of them for Amazon and Entertainment Earth. Now, before anyone asks, hey, why don't you put it on for Marvel or for Hasbro Pulse or BBTS? Because you know where to get them. I don't have sponsorships with them, or I don't have deals. That's why I don't put that stuff up there. I'm very honest about this stuff. Anyway, here is Wesley Snipes as Old Man Blade, and there's something really weird about this. It's like I can tell there's Wesley Snipes, but he just looks off. And if you like it, that's awesome. I like the Punisher figure. I like the Daredevil figure. But man, there is something really off. He looks very derpy, I think is probably the best way to put it. Toy Optic says it's the baggy old man outfit. Doesn't look great in the movie either. No, I know. I'm specifically looking at the face. the face just looks off. So, but yeah, there's something just a little off about it. But again, if you like it, then pick it up. Um, I need a Blade figure. I don't. And again, when I look at this, it's the same as that Punisher figure. I can tell that it's John Berthal, but there's something that's just wrong and off about it. Uh, but they're giving you the Blade figure. Maybe this means they'll go back and they'll do Blade. Now, I used to have discussions with people that would try and tell me that, the MCU figures are different than like the proper Marvel Legends figures. And I would kind of argue and, argue like that's not true. I was completely wrong. The articulation is way different. I feel like the plastic sometimes feels softer, doesn't feel as good with the MCU characters. They still have some pretty good figures, but again, looking at this guy, it looks like he has a thigh cut, but it doesn't look like he has a boot cut. Now maybe it is hidden up underneath there. I feel like they do take away aspects of the articulation so they can keep the cost down. But it is cool that they're actually doing something. Like just Jeff saying, "What the fuck happened to his face?" Yeah. Tripwire says it does look like he got beat up in the face. In the face, though, that was prison. Clint, I see it. I definitely see it right now. That does. Again, I can tell that it's Wesley Snipes, but now I'm looking and I'm seeing Arsenio Hall. I think Clint may have just nailed it right there. But there you go. If you want a Blade, he's going to go off for pre-order tomorrow. And Matthew says he does look more like Arsenio and not Wesley. And again, I didn't see it, but the moment you said it, I'm like, yep, maybe that's what we're all thinking. Now we need an Eddie Murphy. All right, so here's the packaging for him. What is the purpose of? Maybe I missed it. Why does he have two glasses? Is it because they worry you might lose it, or do they fit differently? I don't see what the difference is between them. So maybe they mentioned that. I don't think he has a sword. Does he have a sword in Deadpool? I don't think he does. And then 44D2 jumping in here, laughing about the Arsenio. All right. God, this looks awful. This looks awful. Now, if you like it, awesome. It is from a very small scene in the movie where he fights the Hulk. You barely see him. And, again, it's the MCU Wolverine. I'm sure there's a couple, like the head sculpt is probably different. I'm not sure about the Buck. I think they said the Buck is actually, I think they might have said it's the same Buck as what we had in the other Wolverine for MCU. He just looks weird. And I think because you're looking at the proportions look so good with the short runt ones, that when I see Wolverine as Hugh Jackman, it doesn't work in my opinion. So Toy Optics saying this isn't awful. Come on. What isn't awful? This Wolverine, I don't think it looks good. And again, hey, and you can like whatever you like, but there's just something, and you can tell it looks like there's no boot cut. So his feet are in some really weird positions doing this photography. But anyway, this is also going up tomorrow. Now they give him a separate neck. I I understand. I understand that the mask. I understand, and they said if you have the Hugh Jackman version of Wolverine, you can use the unmasked head. That's what this is for. But it looks like it looks like his face is being scrunched up. Like something is pushing up his face, and now he has the bitter beer face. Um, it just the face looks wrong. um, but yeah, Sean says, "Okay, hold on. That mask piece looks like yes, that's what I'm saying. It looks like a pushed up face, but it is the mask piece, and like they said, like that's why they're giving you this extra neck, so you can use one of the other head sculpts from the other uh, Wolverines from Deadpool and Wolverine. It just looks weird though. It looks so weird. Yes, it's like a Muppet face. Um, and some of you will understand. It reminds me of the episode of Angel where Angel is a Muppet. We haven't got to that episode yet. So my daughter has not got to see the Muppet episode of Angel. And right now, Matthew is laughing because he knows exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. This one here, this is really, really cool. Now, I don't know how great the figure is, but the accessory that she comes with, they nailed it. They nailed it when it comes to this. So this is supposed to be Xavier's twin sister that he killed in the womb. I don't know the whole story, but she's basically the big bad guy in Deadpool and Wolverine. If you haven't seen the movie, it might have been out long enough. So, but she does have this where she pushes her fingers through this guy's face. She does this numerous times. But what they actually did was if you have another body, especially like a suited character, you can pop this head on it. And then you can make him actually standing as she's messing with his head and going through it. This is an awesome shot. Clinton does kind of look like Sinead O'Connor. That's finger face fucker accessory. But yeah, this looks really, really cool. In this live stream, they had a couple really, in my opinion, some creepy ass face sculpts. There's another one when it comes to Abomination that I don't understand. Maybe someone will be able to explain it when we get to it. But this one is interesting. So, Todd, I don't know if this is the best of the wave, but it is the most unique and most interesting. And it's all because of that. Now, I do think that they nailed the likeness. I mean, I think this likeness is really good. And a lot of it probably has to do with the fact that you don't have to get the hair proper. And that sometimes I think that takes away when they're doing some of these figures. But they nailed this guy. And again, even though I didn't finish it, this guy just, I mean, I see Succession, and I think it's great because this is what they should have been doing to him in Succession. He was fucking so goddamn annoying. But yeah. So Cassandra Nova, that's her name. Now this figure here, X23, Laura. This is a figure that I feel like you can pick up and modify her boot, get rid of the claw, and then you just have a regular character. You have a civilian teenager walking around that you can do photography with, because not every single hand has the claws, and she also has these really fun glasses to do stuff with. So unfortunately, she always has the claws in her boots, but that's something I think a little bit of heat, take a razor blade, cut them off, and then just cover that paint up just a little bit. Ed says that looks like Olivia. Uh, I mean, I can see it. Am I gonna have to? Am I gonna have to get this figure so I can put it with Leatherneck? um, do I need to get hard? Are those hard glasses? Do I need to get glasses like that for Olivia? Her hair is not that dark, but I kind of see it. I mean, I do kind of see it for sure. Oh, also, um, remind me to send you, Ed. Tony, are you still in here? After Circle of Jerks last week, Tony and I were the last ones talking, and Olivia came in here, and she literally sat down in this chair and talked Tony's ear off for about 15 minutes, all while insulting him at the same time. Bobby Wool jumping in here saying, dark out the t-shirt under the vest and slap a Cold Slither sticker on it. Yeah, so again, I think this is one of those ones where like you pick it up, you can turn it into just a regular figure. It's a regular a teenager. Now she does come with the Juggernaut helmet, which is cool. A really cool backpack. Again, I picked up. I actually found this guy at Ross a little while ago, and I picked him up because he was like $6. I'm like, this is perfect just for a young teenager running through the city of New York, and Spider-Man's going to save him. I kind of feel the same way about this. This is something that you could do if you don't want her to be, a superhero. So I'm sure Tony deserved it. um, are you talking about Laura or Olivia? Because I think they both are the same. Yes, both. I literally had to walk away, and I know I sent you guys the picture. Man, she was on a tirade that day. So here you are, X23. I actually think it looks good. I think this is probably, this is one of the better likenesses that they hit, which is really good, especially for a young female. Like, you don't want people really making fun of you. Like, that's your action figure. I really do feel bad for Carrie Fisher. Like, they just could never get it. And then there's this Wolverine. If you want it, you can go. There's something that looks, again, it actually does kind of look like it resembles what we saw in the movie. I just don't like it. Again, I think of Wolverine. He's short, he's stocky, and as big as Hugh Jackman gets, he's not a very wide guy. Not like Chris Hemsworth, where he's really wide. He's never had super wide shoulders. But yeah, Tripwire says, "Who wiped their ass with Wolverine's shirt?" But yeah, so it's definitely one of those. So those knee joints look horrible. I feel like they're like, look at this, like this. There's something very derpy about this. I don't know. again, if you like it, awesome. Buy it, have fun with it. There are guys that are so good at photography, they can make Super 7 Ultimates look good. That's Emerald Knight. Uh, but yeah, there it is. Oh, and here comes Wade Howlettson saying, "Oh, but mainframe can be short." Yeah, mainframe's not. Yeah, I don't. I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding the correlation of it. um, I don't know if is mainframe too short. I mean, again, it's classified. They've never done it. Wolverine is a runt. Literally, he's called a runt throughout the whole thing. But there's just something about the look of this. He just doesn't. It just doesn't look like. Look at that jockstrap. Yeah, that's kind of what it does. He kind of looks like that boxer that has when they're training, when they're sparring, and they have the big jockstrap over it. Yeah, just need to paint it red. But hey, if you want this Wolverine, go ahead, pick it up, have fun with it, do whatever you like. Don't let my dumb opinion, and I don't think anyone does, don't let my dumb opinion of making jokes about it steer you away from getting what you might love. And then we have this Deadpool cowboy or Deadpool boy. I forget what it is. Definitely an interesting character. Something different. They mention they're going to give you a lot of different Deadpools. They're going to give you a lot of different Wolverines because they go through that timeline. So expect to see a short Wolverine. I really hated that one because they made it completely wrong. Expect to see the Henry Cavill Wolverine. Expect to see Age of Apocalypse Wolverine, like a different one. Maybe this one's going to be better. But here is the Deadpool cowboy. And again, I do think this one is actually pretty damn interesting. Quickly here, Doc Avenger says, I feel like Mercer is too short. He is not. Go look at Plastic Battles. He put a line across all the media with Mercer, and Mercer is the perfect. He is the exact height that he was in the comic and in the cartoon, maybe not the comic. I don't remember. He's the exact same height. Not in the Energon universe. They changed it, but he is like Plastic Battles went through and he was posting on their Facebook pages because people got, again, if you think they're too short, that's fine. Or you think someone's too tall, that's fine. The depth that people get into and how mad they get. And I think Plastic Battles, Paul just was like, I'm done. Here it is. And he's like marking the line across these characters. It's like, yep, he pretty much nailed it. Into Mystery says, Chuckles is too short. He should be road pig size. Chuckles? No. No. No, Chuckles isn't that big. Anyway, so here we go. I forget what his actual name is. We'll see it at the end. But anyway, if you want a cowboy, that is also Deadpool. There you go. They were very proud of the spinning gun. All right, very proud of it. Maybe a little too proud because from this angle, it looks like it's sitting on a platter. It's sitting on a platter. From this angle, it actually looks like he's spinning it. Okay, so this side looks a little bit better. The other side, it makes it look like it's sitting on a platter, like it should be being served. 3-star says, I need that for Wild Bill. It might work. It might just work. And Into Mystery says, yeah, there's an early Jedro comic, Todd McFarlane, True Chuckles, huge. So maybe just, again, we've seen what Todd does with his action figures. And again, you can look at it anyway. I don't think anyone ever looked at. I never looked at Chuckles as being some big, huge guy. So there you go. There is this Deadpool with the cowboy hat. I actually think this one looks pretty cool, and this is one of those ones where, because it's not a realistic face, obviously, you're not seeing the actual human face. You can work it into any of your Marvel Legends, and anything that's going to use a Deadpool. And I have a feeling there are going to be people that want to build that whole army of Deadpool. So cowboy pool. I think I'm just being lazy with the names when you do that. So, all right. So here is this Deadpool. Now this one doesn't go up. I believe they said January 26th. I don't understand why. He kind of looks like he's a deluxe. So you're going to get Deadpool with Hulk fists. He has his, 2 swords. He has his 2 gold guns. Really just painted a really crappy yellow. You have Wolverine's animanium skull that he is kicking here. I think everyone's going to be ordering this one that has any type of, any type of attachment to Deadpool. He also does come with Dogpool, which again, I think I'll be ordering just so I can have a Dogpool also. I do think this figure looks good, but again, it's easier when it comes to these fully clothed, he's completely covered character, and his head is completely covered. The neck, they pretty much nailed this. Wolverine's claws attached to him. Again, this is going to be something that everyone is going to want to use these accessories for different things, especially if you do photography. My guess here is this guy right here, Toy Optics, saying this is a call out to Mezco and the third-party accessories package for it. Well, I don't think so, because these things are being made years in advance, right? When was Mezco's? If you're talking about the third part, I don't have pictures for them. If you're talking about the stuff that I think I saw yesterday or over the weekend, I actually saw them on the weekly rewind with Robo. But yeah, it takes too long for them to design all this. But anyway, he has the animanium Wolverine nunchucked bones. And again, I know the gold that they're going for. That's just like some really crappy gold plastic. It's probably I commend them for what they were trying to do, but yeah, maybe not. And then here's Dogpool with very little, if any, articulation. I don't even know if his head turns. That might be the only thing. You know what? The mustard guns. It is mustard yellow. You win the prize. The prize is nothing. But yes, it is. They're mustard guns for sure. Yeah, maybe cooking with Eric will want it. Bobby Walt says, I wonder if they're going to do a nice pull after all that issues they were having and court troubles. I'm trying. Well, I don't know why they wouldn't be able to. I'm trying to remember what the court issues were. I know there was something. I don't fully remember what was going on. Frank Dumont, you're jumping in here. So anyway, this is everything that you get. So I'm assuming this is going to be a deluxe package. And they made a quick joke about it. It's kind of like a 2-pack. It's not like a 2-pack. All right. I know you're probably going to charge us like a 2-pack, but you have 2 different nunchucks, 2 swords, 2 pistols. You get the adamantium skull and spine. The arms right there with the claws on it. I'm trying to remember the Hulk fists. I don't remember what the Hulk fists were. I totally don't remember that. But yeah, this is the one that's definitely gonna. This one's gonna go up, and people are gonna want it. So there you go. See, it says dog pool. Like, it's not dog pool. Dog pool. I can go buy. I can go buy a $5 dog at Target. All right, here is our abomination. All right, now I mentioned there's a couple creepy things. Head sculpts. This is one of them. I do not know anything about Abomination other than from the Hulk movie. I knew who he was. I've always looked at Abomination like he's a Hulk version of Merman. But he has his big old toes. What is up with the faces? Can somebody explain what that's supposed to be? Because I don't get it. I'm looking through here and see if anyone actually has an explanation for me. Now, I don't like the look of him in general. Abomination. Clinton says Abomination was big in Marvel Superhero Squad. I remember watching that with the kids. I actually do. So they did said he wasn't in build. He was a Build-A-Figure, I believe. He's built off the Build-A-Figure buck. He does not look like Arsenio Hall. Again, he looks good for what he is. I don't like the look of Abomination, and it's just one of those, just for me, it's just one of those things. He looks like a hulked out, merman. That's just how when I see this, and that's why I really liked Abomination from the movie. They actually changed it around. Sean Forrester says it's the Gamerverse Buck. So, but if you need this, if you want someone to fight Maximum Hulk, there you go. You can have fun with it. He's obviously ripped his shorts too. I do, and I kind of like the big in this, like right here. He kind of reminds me of Doomsday from Superman. Very, very, very similar look. But this is what I'm still trying to figure out. What is these multiple heads in there? I have no idea about it. And I'm just trying to figure out what that is. MCR says Abomination used to be able to breathe underwater. I don't know if that's true or not. Like sometimes I really don't know. Yeah. Doc Avenger, I agree. I think the head sculpts look good. I just don't like them. If that makes sense. Ultramesh says I heard he could fart in the bathtub. And blow it up. Hi, it's me says drugs. That face is drugs. But anyway, if you are interested in this, there you go. You can pick it up, have fun with it. That's what you're supposed to do with your toys. Like I said, don't let an idiot like myself, ruin your fun. Here's the big old box. It definitely looks like he is squatting down to take a crap. because how they have to fit him into the box. um, a new Ghost Rider with bike. Um, I have no interest in this whatsoever. I just bought the other bike off of BBTS. I think the figure came out earlier this year, maybe late last year. I actually ended up with 2 Ghost Riders. Go figure. And I understand this is supposed to be pretty comic accurate, but talk about just a plain boring bike now. This is going to be great for customs where you can paint it all up and do some stuff. Yeah, good luck on that. If you're talking about the bike, yeah, good luck getting that for $35. um, okay, so wait. Nice Pool is a parody of Baldani, the dude suing Ryan Reynolds' wife. Okay. But they still shouldn't have a problem doing it because it might be a parody, but it is his own face. So, but I could see why you might want to avoid a lawsuit. I can see why you'd avoid a lawsuit. Uh, Now I do have no. So this is my biggest complaint right here. I love these chains. They just recently got um, two Ghost Riders, and their hands are too big to actually hold this chain when like in place. Make a smaller hand that can actually hold this, guys. Especially considering you're clearly going to reuse this thing over and over and over and over. Make it like on the same little tree so it all stays together. But this looks decent. I don't mind the blue. I just don't really care for the bike. I like this face sculpt, and they talked about it, how it's actually behind translucent plastic. They're trying to do something different. Um, they act like they're the first person to ever put like something behind translucent. I don't think that's too new, but it's clearly new for what their line is. And as for the bike, it's very boring. And I do understand. I was talking to Tony earlier, and he said it's very comic accurate, and that's awesome. But for what I want and for what I want to display, no, it doesn't interest me at all. Now, again, one of the biggest issues is like another bike. Like, why can't Marvel give us like a car? Maybe something that's like a Charger. Is there a reason why they haven't given us like a Charger for for Ghost Rider? Does anyone know if there's a reason why there hasn't been a car in the Marvel Legends line yet? Yeah, Future Human Torch Head. You know what? That's actually a pretty good callback. Yeah, I need more Dreadnought bikes. It's not that the bike looks bad. It's just that there's no paint. You have to do everything. And Matt, I know you have the ability to, but I'm sure says I have an idea. Do a HasLab with what that have they thought of? I wonder if they've thought about doing something like that. A Ghost Rider with some sort of Charger. They could probably come up with a cool slogan. Maybe they should try that. No one wants a Ghost Driver. It's Ghost Rider. You ride a motorcycle. Okay. I'm just saying, all right? I heard for the longest time that dude, all they ever do is give us bikes. Chattanooga Egg jumping in here saying hi guys. Hi, it's me says, oh punk, it's because it failed at HasLab. Oh, did it? I didn't know that. Well, okay, let me ask you this. You ride in a car. I don't know. Every single motorcycle club that I've ever seen, they say you ride with the best. All right, we're riding today. I don't know. So, Alex Martinez jumping in and saying, top ramen. You know, my daughter's golf team, they picked certain things to they picked certain families to donate to, but they had to buy certain things, and they picked the family that they picked. They all divvied it up rather than everyone give $25 and mix and match. They said, "Will you just go buy 25 for this and 25?" Somehow my daughter got that this girl liked ramen, chicken ramen. Do you know how much ramen you can buy for $25? Literally 2 full paper bags full of ramen. And I'm like, she doesn't want any other. And Olivia's like, she only said chicken ramen. Yes, it was a lot of ramen. It was so much ramen. So sorry, I just saw ramen and that's I kind of get off. So anyway, there we go. You got the flame effects. I mean, that does look cool. Again, get whatever you like. Have fun with it. Whew. All right. This is taking a little bit longer. I wasn't expecting all of this Marvel Legends stuff, and I probably should have. Jeremy, she's got a year's supplies. At least. At least a year's supply. Yeah, Ghost Driver. Hey, listen. I'm just saying, okay? I don't know. You ride in a car too, so ramen is $50 shipping alone. Not ramen noodles. Ghost Tuber. Like I said, if the motorcycle had paint onto it, and again, if this is how it is in the comics, I fully understand. That's something that interests me. But here you go, Ghost Rider. This guy, I have no idea who this guy is. He's supposed to be like a lower level, and I knew. Oh, I forgot to put something in there that I wanted to do. Ghost Tesla. All right, so he comes with gold bars, different ones. He comes with a whole bag here, and I look at this guy. Yeah, so it's fuzzy wuzzy, angry furry. They didn't mention. I think they mentioned something about it being either Ursa Major or somebody else, but it's not. But I gotta say this. Do you remember Altered Beast? This is what I thought of. If you remember the game Altered Beast, this was the first thing that I saw of. But yeah, and it has an articulated jaw. I might just buy this just for the bear style. This will fit perfectly in with your Operation Monster Force. All right. I would not use this face. But yeah, this is just, again, I understand what it might be, but yeah. So here's your central bank. They talked about the gold, that is Latvia. I do like the bear, just not with the head sculpt like this. And again, I see Altered Beast. That is what I see. I used to love that game. It was so much fun to play. But yeah, this thing will probably end up on sale at some point. But once you give it that bear head, you definitely have a whole new look. And maybe something like this would be perfect to fight the killer wargs in your Operation Monster Force display. Marvel's Grizzly. There you go. All right. I'm definitely ordering this one. Then I can have a Colossus that can stand again. Actually, I can still stand him on one foot. This is going to be a 2-pack. I think most people are pretty happy with what they're showing off. I know I'm happy to get a Colossus like this. I've avoided doing the Marvel Legends for quite some time, and obviously now I'm way more into it than I ever should have been. But you're getting Kitty Pryde and Colossus. I don't know who the dragon is. It's not Dragon Man. Guess it's way smaller than that. So I don't know what the little dragon is, but giving her 2 different face sculpts or hair sculpts, shall I say? Then Matthew again, like I don't know enough about the Marvel Legends or Marvel lore, but it sure feels like everyone kind of agrees with you on this one, right? That this is one of those ones where it's like, hey, these two go together. And this isn't, hey, you know what? We need to get this figure out. We know you'll buy this, so we're going to throw it in there. But this Colossus he's awesome. And as I wait for my foot to arrive somewhere, for my Age of Apocalypse Colossus, hopefully I'll have it before I get this. Either I'm going to have to go buy the Cyclops again. But yeah, I think this was the standout of it. They did show off how big he is compared to him. And again, I know they've done like the Marvel Zombies and stuff like that. I feel like if you did Marvel Zombies, like Colossus, as long as he's in this type of form, a zombie can't bite him. They can't convert him. I feel like Wolverine, his healing factor would fight against it. That's how you actually come up with a cure. That's how I kind of look at that. Same like Sabretooth. And I don't know how that whole Marvel Zombies thing goes down, but I know we see different zombies. But he should never be able to turn. He should never have to be turned because he's metal. You can't really bite into metal like that. So here you go. You can say Diamond Select looks better, but Diamond Select is long gone, so I guess you go buy it elsewhere. Diamond Select also has limited articulation. This one will probably have better, but I also can't speak fully for it because I haven't seen it. But here is your 2-pack. But this is going to be $60 now because they've raised the price of them. You have the angry face, the stoic face, pulled back hair, kind of the messy hair, and then Lockheed Martin, the dragon. We still get these stupid hands. Now, this is going to be my gripe now, I think, when it comes to... I think this is totally going to be my gripe now when it comes to these female figures in Marvel Legends, is they give you the exact same hands all the time. They're not giving you hands where you can actually hold things. I shouldn't have to use sticky tack for everything, but this is a problem. You have punchy hands, and then you have these kind of open hands like this. I can't grab anything. Every figure should have a hand where you can hold anything, whether it be a coffee cup, a gun, a snowshoe. I'm looking at stuff that I have over here. Like, you should be able to hold all of this stuff. there should always be at least one set of hands. Like Spider-Man should always have thwap hands, right? Because a wall crawler hands, because that's what he does. So, yeah, the fist always seemed too small, but again, if a woman makes a small fist, they may be about that size. But with the gloves on, it definitely looks like they're a little bit too small. Um, and Brick is saying, "Yeah, I want this 2-pack." Yeah, there's a few of these things I'm definitely going to be ordering. So there you go. That is your Kitty Pride and Marvel's Colossus. I like to have to tell you that it's Marvel's Colossus. There must be another Colossus out there. um, but anyway, um, she's got Trump hands. No, that is not a political thing. It's an observational thing. um, uh, I snorted. um, Matthew says he looks like old creepy Colossus with Kitty. You need the previous head sculpt. Um, okay, all right, I'll take your word for it. But yeah, that's it. That is your Marvel Legends. Again, they dropped a good amount of stuff. A good amount of stuff that I actually like. And I gotta say this. I like the fact that is Dan, right? Dan still on it, or is it Ryan? No, Ryan was the one that was let go, I think. But Dan and uh Dwight, like they're having no problems like taking what people say and making their jokes. Like, oh yeah, we know you guys are always complaining about us not finishing a set, well, or finishing a team. Well, here you go. Here's one of them. Or Dwight made some really swarmy comments about hey, you guys weren't here to say anything, so this is what we're gonna do. Weird things like that, which you're seeing a personality come out, which I really do like. Did they do a side by side with the Game Reverse Juggernaut? No. They just put him up against the other Marvel Legends. I don't remember if I think it's this Cyclops, to be honest. And I think it's they didn't have the Wolverine, but I think it's this Cyclops. It's this color one for sure. That Juggernaut's huge. Like, and he's bigger than Maximum Hulk. He's large. And Colossus isn't. I don't even think he's going to be close to that. And I do. I'll be glad when they come back around with the Juggernaut Colossus, because that's one I definitely should have gone after. Again, I wasn't really into the Marvel Legends, although I love the look. Even though I wasn't collecting, even though I wasn't collecting Marvel Legends or even reading the comics, I loved seeing Colossus with the Juggernaut helmet on. There's something really cool about it. Stanley says, "Do you know what industry Ryan Ting landed in? I heard it's not toys." No, I did hear that. I did hear somebody say that he's no longer in the toy industry, but he did find a job. I have no idea. I haven't kept up at all. So, but yeah. All right. I'm gonna take a quick breather, and then I do want to mention that tomorrow, obviously, we have the Circle of Jerks, but we also have my moderator also does a show. So let's take a look at a couple of those things quickly. Except I can't do quickly because I can't find what I'm looking for.
idiots! Incompetent buffoons! What is it now, Commander? Consummate morons, incapable of coherent thought! Are you watching that show again? Yes. Why didn't you just watch Pop Blender and Matthew's discussions, news, reviews before the show came out? Whether you agree or disagree, the perspectives provide enough context to know if the show or movie is worth your time or not. Yes, I know. I will not miss another Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central on Pop Blender's channel. Be more than once a man by watching Pop Blender and Matthew talk about pop culture news, discussions, and reviews on Tuesday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. And now you know. Televiper, be sure to hit like, share, and subscribe so we do not miss another episode, and hit that bell notification.
Fired? Have you recently lost your job with a major toy manufacturer? Tariffs got you down? You may be entitled to sharing your story on a major media streaming outlet. We want you to dish the dirt. Call Circle of Jerks at 900-555-0979. We will exploit you for our personal gain. That number again is 900-555-0979. Circle of Jerks. Every client gets a cookie.
Sorry. Matthew quickly says, let's see, he says, both of us, apparently Ed will be on also. Well, if one of them, either Ed or the guy that does way too much AI and creates, 5-minute, transitional segments for his show, that's Mr. Wonderful. If he'd give me like a 30-minute or 30-second, I don't want to say 30-minute, a 30-second clip, I could promote the show. But I've only been asking for like a year. I'm assuming not going to get one. And I know he's watching because he's called me, he's texted me. I believe that Mr. Wonderful, I think he cracks himself up. Anyway, so the topic. And well, quickly before we get to the topic, if you've seen the scroll at the bottom, I know there's people that are rotating in, they're coming in and out of the show, and they're watching different things. If you see on the bottom here, next week the topic, I want to showcase some of the stuff that we've. I'm going to showcase pictures that you had in the past of what you got at Christmas. Just one or two pictures. Now, again, I'll mention if you have kids, that you've had kids, hey, you know what? Send one picture of each of those. Ed says we can do a 30-minute commercial. I'll just start playing it at 11:30, and then I can go. I went 3 fucking hours. So I want you to send in your pictures from childhood with a toy, right? Or I guess it doesn't have to be a toy. I guess you could be in front of your Christmas tree. But let's be honest, it's more fun to see if you got the Rattler or you got Castle Grayskull, Snake Mountain, Optimus Prime, Sideswipe, anything. And it can be from any era. Again, maybe there's some younger kids that got stuff in the 90s. Maybe it was Power of the Force 2. You were so excited thinking it was going to be worth money. And then you realize that it's not. And then again, if you have kids, then send a picture of your kids too. But don't send more than 2 pictures unless like, hey, we have a family of 4. Here's one picture of each of them. I'll do something like that. But Darren, don't send me 84 fucking pictures. I don't need 3 different emails because you sent so many pictures that they couldn't fit all onto 1 or even 2 emails. All right. Who is this right here? Baldy Locks Review jumping in to say, yo, just got in here. I called and texted you. And tune in tomorrow to Circle of Jerks, where we will be doing our top 6-7 classified figures of 2025. Whatever the fuck that means. Toy Optic says, I'm going to watch Spinal Tap 2. Rip Rob Reiner. Good night and have fun. And I got these really, really cool Jewish stickers in today. They're called Toy Optics. Now, I'm not positive, but I think I'm not sure if you have to contact Toy Optics to get these, or if you contact Tony, Tony's Figs, and then he'll let us know who wants what. He'll get your address and everything. He'll send it over, and then we'll get the stuff shipped out for you. But yeah, he just got those cool stickers in today. It's always cool to get stickers from people. I got to get the sticker board. I think I'm going to need to start a second sticker board for all the stickers that we've got. So anyway, have a good night, Spec. We'll talk to you tomorrow for a 6-7. Anyway, yes, Baldy saying contact Tony's Figs. Tony really likes it. He's like, I love getting all these emails, all these messages. I can divvy it out. And then he can really do a good job of saying, hey, you know what? This guy asked for Punks and Baldies and Specs, but didn't ask for Terry's. Let me get Terry's too. So he's able to put it all together. That's one of the reasons why we brought him in as the intern that he is. A lot of people don't realize this. He's really good at multitasking. He's not. He's awful at it. Anyway, the topic. Basically, I was trying to think of a topic. Had I known, or shall I say, even remembered that he's so organized. So anyway, Stanley says, will there be a place to get all in one stop? Yes. Contact Tony's Figs. You know what? We'll have to talk about it tomorrow. I think maybe Baldy, myself, Terry, and Spec, maybe we should all just go to Sticky Brand and just have, let's say, 100 of our stickers shipped directly to Tony. So when you guys contact him, he can just divvy it up there and ship it all out. Terrence Next Toy jumping in here saying, happy holiday, Lawrence. Same to you, Terrence. Hope everything is well with you. All right. So, again, you see where we're at. It's almost 3 hours. And I just had an idea. Because we all see the RossCon. We haven't heard much about Ollie's this year, but we know people are always waiting for the clearance. We always hear about the clearance chicken. I always tell people, hey, if you want something, don't play clearance chicken with it. Pay the MSRP if that's something that you want. If you walk by something and you're like, I like that, I don't have to have it, but if I see it on clearance or I see it on sale, I'll pick it up. That I fully understand. Again, I say I'm pretty heavily in the G.I. Joe community. I see so many times that people are like, I'm just going to wait till it shows up at Ross. And I can't speak for everyone. I can totally speak for Baldy. We're like, you guys are fucking stupid. I know. I'm the one that told everyone, hey, we need to be nicer to people in the community, the G.I. Joe community. Like, we can't constantly be attacking them. Some of them are so stupid. They're not watching the show right now. And if they are, I'm glad. But anyway, these people are waiting for this stuff, and they're gonna wait for Ollie's, they're gonna wait for Ross. I'll wait till Walmart puts it on clearance, or Target has, it goes on sale 2 weeks after they get it, which they do all the time. And I started thinking, like, is this a bad thing? Now, unfortunately, I didn't star it, and because whenever he made the comment, and I don't remember who it was, but someone made a comment way before we started the show, and what he said was kind of what my feeling is with all of this. I'm actually trying to scroll up. That was stupid. And then he said, I bought all kinds of things on clearance that got me into the hobby. And I feel that if you're like me, where you're big into the collecting, but you're like, I'm not going to buy stuff at MSRP. I'm going to wait it out. Once again, I said what I said earlier about if I'm like, I was never going to buy this guy. All right. I was never going to pay $25 for this, but I see it at Ross for $6 and I go, that's a perfect figure, right? This is a perfect figure to use with Spider-Man. Spider-Man can be saving him. He could be running away and, maybe, I don't know, maybe there's a PSA for G.I. Joe and they show up and, tell them, hey, you know what? Don't light fires, stuff like that. But if I really like that show, I'm not going to wait for it. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pre-order it. I'm going to buy it when I see it at cost or MSRP, because that's what I want. But my question was, how bad is this? I feel like if you're like us, if you're part of the community, and I feel like myself, again, we have Baldy here, 3-Star. I mean, all these guys that are doing shows, like, we're a bigger part of the community. And if we're waiting and telling people, hey, just wait it out, you're hurting the product. And again, I'm not going to tell you how you should or shouldn't spend your money. But the real question is, how many people wait and they start picking up Marvel Legends because they're on clearance? And next thing you know, now they're into the hobby and they're not just going to Target and Walmart to pick stuff up or Amazon. They're now on BBTS, maybe Entertainment Earth. Maybe they're getting 10% off using my code APWT at Hella Dope Toys. So, the question is it only hurting, or is it also helping people get into the community when they find stuff on clearance and on sales and stuff? When you're sitting there, and again, there were a lot of guys that were not into G.I. Joe. There were Marvel Legends guys, and they started to get into G.I. Joe as they started to show up. And then you heard more and more people complain about how good the G.I. Joes were, but how bad the Marvel Legends were. And then you saw Marvel Legends start to up their game. And I fully do believe they upped their game like you wouldn't believe. But for me, I started picking up a couple Marvels that I liked, and then I started finding more on clearance or, on discount sales. I'm like, okay, I'll pick that up. And the more I did it, the more, and again, you see the reviews, you see the collection. I do more pictures with Marvel Legends, than I have. I mean, I'm assuming you see them. No one ever likes them because they're not G.I. Joe. Weirdest phenomenon there. Like, okay, I understand, like, you like G.I. Joe, but you don't appreciate when someone does a pretty cool picture. That makes no sense to me whatsoever. But anyway, that's a whole other topic I could do. But I feel like as much as the clearance can hurt a brand, and obviously, Hasbro, Mattel, let's be honest. And again, I don't care so much about them. They don't want you to buy on clearance. They don't want to have to discount it. Now, they've already made their money. I think for the most part, we know what they're doing. They made their money back. Now they have to sell the stuff off. But if it gets people to jump into it, then it's actually a good thing. And the order says, did Ross buy the NECA brand? I don't know what you mean. There's a lot of NECA stuff there right now. And that's because NECA never goes on sale. That's one of the NECA's own problems. Like, they don't, like, that stuff that's in the Target, that's their stuff. Like, Target's selling it, but that's their own area. They stock it themselves. Jeremy Kimberlin says, I would spend more money hunting for clearance as all my Ross and Ollies are all over an hour away in different directions. I hate Ross. You know what Ross has been good for? Me getting more steps in. Matthew says this. Why about Ralphie and Kevin on discount? NECA sale. Yeah, I'm really shocked with NECA. I mean, they're all over all over Ross right now. That is one thing that I can find is the NECA stuff. Like I said, I picked up this ET. I saw another ET there. They have a weird Back to the Future. They have a whole bunch of the monsters. So if you're into that type of stuff, you can definitely find it. One second. Sorry. This is what happens when you do something alone. You always have to talk. So I have to believe NECA is in trouble. I'm not sure because, and I only say, and I know, and I have no knowledge of it whatsoever. They're a very niche company. They keep a very small area that they do bring in there. But again, unlike Hasbro and Mattel, where they're just like making massive amounts of it, they're trying to make thousands rather than millions. So they may be doing well, to be 100% honest. But the amount of stuff that they've gotten rid of is is weird. And again, they totally killed off gargoyles. They went so heavy into gargoyles, almost like they went, oh boy, we made too many of them. Maybe we need to back off. So, but I could also see why they might be in trouble too. But it's hard to tell with a small company like that because as long as they're turning a profit, maybe that's all that matters to them. So, Pop Blender jumping in, a member for 24 months. That is okay. First off, that is actually crazy.
Fucking Phil Collins.
That I have had memberships for 2 years. I know it's been about, believe me, I know it's been over 2 years. And yes, Pop Blender saying hello, lovely people. So it was just one of those things that I was thinking about when I've gone into Ross numerous times because I'm looking for these GI Joes, right? I found a Cobra Commander, and I actually bought Cobra Commander for $9. They actually had a whole bunch of them, to be honest. Well, not a whole bunch. They had 3. I didn't buy them all because I didn't need them all. But I'm like, you know what? I can figure out something for it with a $9 Cobra Commander that I can do something with it. Hussey says, how did Stardust end up at Rosscon for $7.99, yet still on Hasbro Pulse for regular price? That is a great question. Because it was a Pulse exclusive. So, now, understand this. Quickly, let's... Hold on. We have a...
Fucking Phil Collins.
For Allison Troy, member for 31 months. And then we have Cooking with Eric, member for 20 months.
Fucking Phil Collins.
Remember this. It does seem kind of weird to be... it does seem kind of weird, to be honest. But Hasbro Pulse, even though it is owned by Hasbro, it is a separate entity. So if Hasbro has a big warehouse of them that they want to get rid of, that was the wrong thing. There was a wrong thing for an exclusive because they didn't make it look like an exclusive. They should have made it look like a cereal box rather than just give you its own cereal box. So they may have just jettisoned a whole bunch, but they still have some sitting at that warehouse for Pulse itself. And so they're selling it at regular price. But you're absolutely right. But I haven't seen one. And this right here, Terrence says, I saw Snow Serpent Retro. That's the one I've been looking for. I mean, I want that. I want the eels. I know Spec has found the Televiper. I'd pick up a Rock and Roll just because he'd be good custom fodder. I saw Cobra Commander. And now at least I know that they're real. um, I know that they're real, but it's aggravating because I've gone into so many of these Rosses. But again, I do think that it does. Again, I don't think it creates anyone to get into the hobby, right? I'll say it again. When people, and there's a lot of these guys right now that are hitting that promotions button so they can have big numbers on their toy tube. And I'll say it again. There is nobody. Look at the Roman right there. Look at Roman right there. Now he's like, I'm not going to move. I'm going to act like I'm just here. There's nobody that's like scrolling through YouTube, like, you know what? I have all this extra money. I need to spend money on something. If only there was, oh my God, toys. I need to invest into it. That's why I don't understand these people that are, they do a history of G.I. Joe, or even like a segment of G.I. Joe, and they're tossing out that money to do promotions so they can have 30 or 40,000 views on it. Just roll my eyes at you. But I do think that guys like me who got into it for G.I. Joe, hey, I'll pick up this X-Men. I like these. Next thing you know, you're finding stuff on clearance. And then you're starting to actually mess around with them and be like, these things are really good. I definitely enjoy them. It is great for army building for sure, and customizers. For sure, there's no doubt about it. There are guys that are going to be like Woody 222. They don't care. Like he'll order them more when they're on sale too, but he'll order 40, he'll order 20, 30, 40 sometimes when something drops because he wants to army build that way. But yeah, it's one of those things where it does keep people wanting to army build. So yeah, you go in there and again, you said you saw the snow serpent. So let's say you buy like 4 or 5 snow serpents. Now you kind of have this army of snow serpents. Ross isn't always going to have that stuff, but now maybe you have 10 of them. Well, you start looking over at your Cobra Troopers and you're like, well, I can't have more snow serpents than Cobra Troopers. I got to even it out or make it have a little bit more, or Vipers. So I do think in some ways the clearance, the Ross Cons, the Ollie Marts, I just made that up. No one calls it that. It does help some aspects of a brand. Now, again, if it's all these Wolverines that are being sent over, and I don't know if there's any Wolverines, I'm just using it. If it's their main characters that are being sent over there because no one's buying it, Tron figures, Ghostbusters figures, yeah, that I don't think that's beneficial to a company. But for someone like myself, or Terrence, I know Terrence buys a lot of stuff. I've been filling in gaps in some of my Back to the Future collection and helping friends with getting figures they passed on or missed. So yeah, so let's say, again, you're there and you're just like, you pick up ET. I picked up ET. Maybe this is the thing that you go, hey, you know what? I kind of like these weird NECA figures. Maybe I'll get that Elf figure, which is seriously one of the best figures ever made. NECA, you knocked it out of the park with Elf. I know you have like 3 different versions and it's all the exact same Elf. I think that one was I think one of those was showing up at Ross too. I'd buy that too. But again, that's the type of stuff that will get people to kind of grab a couple of those and maybe get someone into that line. But again, you're not going to get I don't think you're getting newbies. It's people that are already they're already going towards that way. They've already figured out I have a plastic crack addiction, and I'm going to move towards the light of these clearance toys. And now, next thing I know, I bought this clearance rock and roll. The original Elf and rock and roll have all been in Ross. Oh no, okay. So rock and roll. So I did not see the. I do think I saw the rock and roll Elf at Ross. But another thing when it comes to Ross, if you have a Ross, I'm assuming every Ross is like mine. If you're in there when no one else is there and you find something, not a big deal. God forbid that you find something and there are 10 people in front of you, because there's a good chance that you're not getting out of there for 4 fucking hours because you think the Walmart employees move slow. Ross employees are like the employees that Walmart said, hey, you're too slow to work here. We're going to send you over to Ross. They are absolutely awful. Okay, first off, this might be the biggest oxymoron thing that's ever been stated here. They're all the ghetto. And Terrence says, I have like 7 Rosses within 15 to 20 minutes of my house. I have one. And there's another one that's probably about a half hour away. There's another one's about 45 minutes away. Actually, 2 that are about 45 minutes away. I haven't really seen anything that's that good. And Matthew says, no shit, Ross is the slowest. They're awful. Like, if I see there's 4 people in front of me, and now mind you, like, I might be swinging by one while I'm working. So I'll be like, hey, I'm going to swing in here really quick. And actually, when I bought this thing here, I sat there for probably 20 minutes with like 3 people in front of me. And you're just like, shit, dude. Like, I got to get back to work. I figured I could run in here and grab it like it's a fucking CVS. You know, they want to get you the hell out of there. But no, not Ross. Baldy says, I don't go chasing at Ross. It's a waste of time in my area. And they literally just throw the toys in a pile like a Goodwill store drop-off area. There's that too. There is that too. And for Christmas, they have opened up another. They've opened up another aisle of toys. And again, I said I found 3 Cobra Commanders. They were all 3 of them were just kind of spaced out in that aisle, just thrown on top. It was kind of crazy. Terrence says, if the exit alarm isn't going off on the Ross you're in, then isn't a Ross, it's a TJ Maxx. I can say that I've heard that alarm go off more times than I care to imagine. But yeah. Now, Ultramatch says, the only figure I ever bought from Ross is the G.I. Joe Classified Snake Eyes movie Scarlet $4.99. Now, we didn't have Ross's when they had those movie figures. So, like, we just got it last year. And we got it right as people were talking about the Thunder Machine, right? And the fact is, like, I never saw the Thunder Machine. That was what I really wanted, especially for $25. I think Tony bought one from someone for like $50, which was still a pretty good deal. But yeah, it's one of those things. Alex Martinez says, Mr. Punk, you speak the truth, my friend. Ross is a long wait. Yeah, just bring a snack. All right. Like, if you're going into Raw, like there's a McDonald's. There's a McDonald's in front of the Ross where I go to. I think maybe next time I'll just stop, get an egg McMuffin and go in there just in case if I find something that I'll have something to eat while I'm wasting my day away. Baldy says, I say I applaud the people that score, but I don't have the amount of time to shop, and when you add up the time spent in gas, just pay retail. Yes and no. Again, there's something fun about it, but I think the thought is that there are many people that they're showing. Again, that's why I said I'm not sure if I believe them. The pictures upon pictures of like rows of stuff. It's not like there's 100 snow serpents, but there's like 3 snow serpents and 3 eel there, and then they have the Marvel like they have a whole bunch of different things. And again, I do believe it depends on the area that you're in. It's always been like that. Certain areas will get things. Here in Michigan, we don't, and I think maybe because we've recently got Ross's, so you probably have priorities to other ones. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But anyway, it's been over 3 hours. And once again, I did a 3-hour tour, plus some, get stuck at an island. But I do have to wake up in the morning and go to work because, contrary to popular belief, YouTube doesn't pay you very well, if anything. So I'm going to get out of here. Please check me out this Thursday with action figures sold separately. Robert, he will be my guest on Thursday with a friend. But before that, you might have said, hey, you know what? Do you do anything between Monday and Thursday? Well, I do. I go on with the Circle of Jerks on Baldy Locks Reviews channel at 6:30 p.m., somewhere around there. I think he actually schedules it for 6:35. We're not the best at keeping a time schedule. But tune in tomorrow for the G.I. Joe Classified 6/7 2025 of the year. I have no idea what that means. Take care.